Handling sports entertainment and the Dayton Dragons presents the Dragons pregame show. An in-depth look at Dayton Dragons baseball with previews, matchups, and tonight's interview. Now let's head to the stadium and the voice of the Dayton Dragons, Mike Vanderwood.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Dayton Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio. Mike Vanderwood with you from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The Dragons and the Cedar Rapids Kernels getting ready for game number 3 of a 4-game series. They'll play tonight and will play again tomorrow afternoon to wrap things up. It's a 1 o'clock Dayton start tomorrow, 12:30 for the pregame show, and 1 o'clock for the first pitch. But first things first, tonight, the winning team will have the opportunity tomorrow to play for 3 out of 4. At a suspended ball game on Monday night because of rain, so last night the suspended game was completed. The teams also played the regularly scheduled 9-inning ball game. The Kernels won the completion of the suspended game by a 2-1 score. Chris Hunter, the winning pitcher. Trey Rice took the loss. With bases loaded in the bottom half of the 7th inning, Sean Rodriguez, actually Matt Pauley, who had come in the game for Rodriguez, was hit by a pitch, and that got the winning run home. A 2-1 Cedar Rapids victory in the completion of the suspended game. And on the other side of it, the Dragons last night in the regularly scheduled ball game, they won it by the score of 2-1. Brock Till getting the win in relief of David Schaefer. Schaefer and Till combined to give up just 1 run. The run was unearned. Cedar Rapids only picked up 4 hits on the night. The Dragons struck out 9, did not walk anybody. A 2 RBI triple from Ben Himes that got the margin of victory for the Dragons as Dayton took it by the score of 2-1. 2 runs, 7 hits, an error with 6 left on base for the Dragons. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors with 2 left on base for Cedar Rapids. Brock Hill, the winning pitcher, now 3-3. Bob Zimmerman took the loss, his mark 2-4. 2 hours and 17 minutes the time of the ball game in 2043 at the ballpark last night to see it. And a long day of baseball. Got things going at 6:32 Dayton time and finished everything up at about 10:28 Dayton time. So a lot of baseball played yesterday, and the weather should be good for the ball game tonight. So don't expect anything other than a 9-inning ball game. And the way that it's gone so far between these two teams, I would expect much of the same. Good pitching, not a whole lot of offense, but timely hitting. Some timely runs being scored. The Cedar Rapids Kernels came into the series batting a league best 274. As a team through the first 2 games against the Dragons, they are batting .093. The Dragons came in as a team batting .248. They're batting .143, and the team earned run average is also really on top of it and very good. Cedar Rapids at a 3.97 coming in. Earned run average against the Dragons in 2 games so far, 1.50. The Dragons had a Midwest League high, 5.10 ERA entering the series on Monday night. The team earned run average in 2 games against the Kernels, 1.06. Dragons are still 14th out of the 14 teams in the Midwest League, but the earned run average has dipped below 5. And heading into the ball game tonight, the Dragons at 4.92. Cedar Rapids has dropped about a 1/10 of a run, and the Kernels no longer first in the Midwest League in hitting. They've dropped down from 274 down to 265. Dragons down to 244, so both teams pitching extremely well so far in the 2 ball games in this series. Wouldn't expect anything different with the pitching matchup tonight. Josh Thigpen goes for the Dragons. Micah Posey going for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll take a look at the Midwest League standings, see what happened last night in the league. That's up after the break. You're listening to the Dragon pregame show on 1410 ESPN Radio.
And now, here's something from Coors Light for everybody out there who loves summer.
I love working on my sound. That girl from the taco stand. Lots of long weekends and swim. Love the red, white, and blue. Back up on the shoes. Go on some love, deep, and swim, and die. Love, love, love.
Have yourself a long, hot summer and a nice cold Coors Light. Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. Rock on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Next time you buy beer, pick up some Coors Light and taste the cold, crisp, refreshing difference.
Hey, Dirk, can I borrow some money for some movies and stuff? I don't know if you noticed this, but I'm not your mother.
You should get some Sprite, man.
Well, who's that? Meet my personal announcer. Listen to the man.
Play Sprite 3,000 into the cat game. 1 in 6 players can score cool stuff like free movies or video game rentals at Blockbuster and more.
So, Dirk, you think I could borrow some change for a Sprite salad? All I got is Benjamin. That's how Dirk rolls. What's for myself? Obey your thirst.
Blockbuster membership rules apply. No purchase necessary. And 12/31/04 or all supply glass. For restrictions and free game, PC rules at Sprite.com. Internet and or cell phone required for some prizes.
Garage doors and electric garage door openers. We must be talking about Dayton Door Sales. Dayton Door Sales has been installing and servicing garage doors and openers for over 42 years. It's where you find the leading brand in garage doors, the overhead door brand. Look for that red ribbon in the yellow pages and you know you have the original and the best. Dayton Door Sales and overhead door. But their expertise doesn't stop there. Dayton Door Sales installs entry doors, patio doors, storm doors, and replacement windows as well. Yes, Dayton Door Sales has quietly become a leader in vinyl replacement windows. The same philosophies apply that have made them true leaders in the garage door business. It's about quality. It's about experience. It's about professionalism and integrity. Call or visit Dayton Door Sales today or one of its affiliates. Overhead Door Company of Springfield, Overhead Door Company of Troy Piqua, or Overhead Door Company of Middletown Springboro. Remember, look for that red ribbon in the yellow pages and you know you have the original and the best. Dayton Door Sales and Overhead Door.
1410 ESPN.
At the ballpark, Mike Vanderwood with you on 1410 ESPN Radio. Mark Neal back in our Dayton Dragon baseball studios. The Dragons at 19-26. The Cedar Rapids Kernels at 25-19. The Dragons 10 games behind division leading South Bend in the Eastern Division. Dragons dropped a half game yesterday with the loss in the conclusion of the suspended game, and then everything stayed right where it was. Lansing last night victorious, as well as South Bend. Battle Creek, Fort Wayne, West Michigan lost, so the Dragons all gained some ground on those three teams. Dayton now just a game and a half out of third place. And the Dragons at 10 games behind South Bend, still with an outside shot as far as the Eastern Division first half playoff picture goes. Certainly, stranger things have happened. If you take a look at what is going on, the Midwest League first half ends on the 20th of June, so the Dragons essentially are looking at about 26, 27 games to go. So certainly it would be a tough uphill climb to make up 8 full games out of 26, 27 remaining, somewhere along those lines, but it is certainly feasible. And if nothing else, the Dragons, as we've talked about from time and time again, just trying to play their best baseball. They have not certainly hit their stride and a half. They may be starting to do that right now. And they would certainly like to, if nothing else, finish out the first half strong, start the second half strong. And you've got to get off to a little bit better start than what you did initially. The Dragons have kind of dug themselves a hole, the best that they've been this season. 500 at 3 different times. The last time the Dragons were at 500 was 5-5, back about a week and a half into the season. On the other side of it, Kane County with a 3-game advantage now over Cedar Rapids and Peoria. The Chiefs last night lost to the Burlington Bees. The Kernels lost the second game of the night to the Dragons, and Kane County, for the second straight night, took care of the Beloit Snappers. So the Cougars starting to widen the gap a little bit. Kane County at 28-16, again just a half game behind South Bend as far as the best record of the Midwest League is concerned. Kane County 3 games up on Cedar Rapids and Peoria. Then you've got Clinton in 4th place, 3.5 back. Beloit at 24-21, 4.5 games back. Then Wisconsin, the Quad Cities, and then the Burlington Bees at 15-30, 13.5 back. And I would say the goal right now for the Burlington Bees, 15 games under 500. It's just trying to come back and finish out of last place. Try not to finish, you know you've got no shot at a playoff spot. And basically with 10.5 games to make up, you're not playing that great of baseball, but there's a way that you can instead of finishing in 8th place, finishing 7th. Give yourself something to kind of build on as far as the second half goes, much like any of the teams in the Eastern Division under 500. And right now, well, the Western certainly looks like it's a little superior to the Eastern Division in terms of overall record. You've got Kane County, Cedar Rapids, Peoria, Clinton, and Beloit. You've got 5 teams over 500 in the Western Division, 5 out of 8. Well, just 2 out of 6 in the Eastern Division, South Bend and Lansing over the break-even point. Elsewhere tonight in the Midwest League, you've got West Michigan at Lansing. That one should already be completed. That was an early game this morning. Beloit at Kane County. Lansing victorious. Will get you a score. Checking on it in a little bit. Beloit at Kane County, Battle Creek at South Bend, Burlington at Peoria, Fort Wayne is at Clinton, Wisconsin at the Quad Cities. We will take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll hear from our Dayton Dragon baseball insider, Mark Camps of the Dayton Daily News. Our conversation with Mark Camps is up next. You're listening to the Dragon pregame show on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Are you tired of sitting around the house playing your video games like a little girly man? Well, life is not a video game. Get off of your seat, get moving, and get out to the Extreme Paintball Field located between Dayton and Xenia, just off State Route 35. Information and directions can be found on the internet at www.extremepaintballfield.com. Or look in the yellow pages under the word paintball for complete information.
Your 2004 Dayton Dragons and the dedicated employees at General Motors Moraine Assembly make a fantastic team. Both are committed at delivering to you a great experience, whether you're sitting in the stands or sitting in one of our great trucks. At Moraine Assembly, we build an exciting, high-quality lineup of award-winning General Motors products. Check out what we can do for you. The Dayton Dragons, General Motors, and the IUE CWA. We are a winning team.
Without effective waterproofing, your new basement could be a perfect breeding ground for mold and mildew. Just as you take care in choosing your builder and floor plan, take care in selecting a waterproofing system that truly protects you and your family. Whether the plans for your basement are finished or unfinished, Marflex Waterproofing and Basement Products, located in Middletown, offers a complete line of waterproofing systems, including egress window wells. The professionals in the tri-state area that apply Marflex products are always available to offer you the products and services you need. Call Marflex today at 1-800-498-1411. That's 1-800-498-1411.
Get ready, fans, because your chance to win a ton of money is coming up for the 2004 Dayton Dragon season. Ross Auto and the Dayton Dragons will be giving you a chance to win a ton of cash this season. Cash for cash is back. Well, how much money can you get into a wheelbarrow with a shovel in 45 seconds? So hurry up and head to the nearest Ross location to register. And you could be the next lucky winner dashing for cash at Pittsburgh Field. The lucky winner will be drawn each month for 2004. And every month, the lucky winner will get 2 tickets to a Dragons game and a chance to win cash here at Pittsburgh Field. 1410 ESPN.
Back at the ballpark, and we're going to push the Dragons Insider segment back one. Forgot to tell you about, and should have mentioned it, a couple of roster moves made by the Dragons earlier today, actually made by the Cincinnati Reds. Dragons don't actually make roster moves. We just let everybody know what they are. All made by the Reds player development staff. And the Reds signed Jeremiah Pipcorn out of North Dakota State University. He was a Division II stand-down, hit .376 with 21 home runs and 56 runs batted in his senior season. He joins the Dragons. Actually, accompanied us on the trip out here, just activated today. Also, Chris Dickerson back in town. He will be here at some point tonight. Chris has had an interesting travel day, to say the least. His early flight this morning canceled out of Sarasota, and he has had 2 planes delayed because of adverse weather. So Dickerson, who was scheduled to first get here at 3:30 this afternoon, has still, to my knowledge, not made it to the ballpark, although he is en route somewhere. The last that we had heard, he was delayed in Dallas, Texas, and will be getting here at some point soon, and will be joining the ball club. So we expect to see Chris here tonight, and will certainly be in the starting lineup, I'm sure, tomorrow. With that in mind, a couple of players had to be reassigned to make room for both Dickerson and Pipcorn. Jared Schmidt and Jeff Urgelis have been reassigned to extended spring training in Sarasota, Florida. And those two guys still with us on the trip right now. They have been taken off of the active roster, have been unactivated, and those two guys will be heading down to Sarasota, depending on what roster of Cincinnati the Reds will put them on, whether it's Billings or a different roster, whatever the case may be. But Pipcorn and Dickerson active, Schmidt and Yergelis right now inactive, and Pipcorn will be in the lineup tonight for the Dragons, and he will be playing third base, batting seventh, making his professional and his Midwest League debut. And we may see Dickerson available tonight for some pitch hitting duty or some pitch running duty instead of Chris, who was slated to get the start. We'll see Alvin Daltrey out in center field for the Dragons to start things off. Taking a look at the starting pitching tonight, you've got Micah Poza going for the Cedar Rapids Kernels, Josh Thigpen going for the Dragons. Micah Posey made his professional debut, or at least made his Midwest League debut, against the Dragons last year in this stadium. With 5 innings, gave him 3 hits, he struck out 5 and walked 4. Posey is 6'5", 220 pounds. He is out of Tallahassee, Florida. And last year, that was his professional debut. Spent the entire season with the Cedar Rapids Kernels. This year off to a pretty good start. 5 wins, no losses, a 2.51 earned run average for the left-handed. 46 and 2/3 innings of baseball. Posey has given up 33 hits. He has struck out 31, walked 11. Given up 14 runs, 13 of those runs earned, and the Midwest League batting just .202 against him. His last time out, a no decision against Quad Cities. 6 and 2/3 innings, gave up 4 runs, all the runs earned. That was the hardest that he's been hit in terms of the number of hits given up and the number of runs allowed. He has also given up 3 home runs, and has won every decision that he has gotten this season. For the Dragons, out of Green Hill, Alabama, 6'4", 220 pounds, it's Josh Thigpen. He's a right-hander. Thiggy, his last time out in relief on the road at Burlington. 4 innings of perfect baseball. Did not allow a hit, did not allow a run, had a couple of strikeouts. And Thigpen will be on for the 11th time. It will be Josh's 6th time as a starting pitcher. 3 wins, 3 losses, and a save. A 4.19 earned run average. In 38 and 2/3 innings, Thigpen has given up 40 hits. He has struck out 26, walked at 16, given up 23 runs, 18 of those runs earned. The numbers for Thigpen as a reliever, much better than as a starter. 3 wins and a save in relief. A 1.93 earned run average and a 203 batting average again. So Josh hopefully going to be able to bear down Terry's good outing the last time out against the Burlington Bees at Community Field in Burlington, carried into the start here. It'll be Thigpen, the right-hander for the Dragons, and Micah Posey, the left-hander for Cedar Rapids. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, then we'll hear from our Dragons insider, Mark Katz of the Dayton Daily News. That conversation up next on the pregame show on 1410 ESPN Radio.
As a proud sponsor of the Dayton Dragons, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield knows what it takes to hit one out of the park. That's why Anthem brings you high-quality group health plans that are flexible and affordable. Plus, Fortune Magazine ranks Anthem among the top 3 most admired healthcare companies in the country. With Anthem, you can feel confident knowing that they work for you. Visit Anthem.com today and choose Anthem.
Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Community Insurance Company, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
John Madden here for Ace Brand Products, an exclusive line of products created much like Ace itself to help you with your everyday life. And while these Ace Brand products cost less than other national brands, they're made of the same top quality material.
Ace products are made of the same high standards of performance seen in more expensive national brands. High-quality Ace products are found locally at your neighborhood Handyman Ace hardware store.
Ace Brand products, only at Ace.
Handyman Ace, serving the Miami Valley with multiple locations since 1939.
Being able to wake up every morning with Allison is kind of like having a sleepover with your best friend.
I love my husband. We have so much fun. We do everything together.
Imagine having the companionship of a best friend, the passion of true love, and a shared view of the most important things in life, all in one person. That kind of relationship would be something special, wouldn't it? Well, at eHarmony.com, these are exactly the kinds of relationships that result when couples are matched based on 29 dimensions of compatibility.
It is is beyond joy to be able to come home to someone who really loves you.
Being seen and loved by that one person in the world with whom you are meant to be at eHarmony.com. We don't think that's too much to ask for.
I cannot imagine life without Allison.
That's why if you're looking for your soulmate, check out eHarmony.com and see if it feels comfortable to you. Do it now and get your $40 personality profile free. eHarmony.com, because it shouldn't take a lifetime to find the love of your life.
1410 ESPN.
Welcome back to the Dayton Dragon pregame show. Mike Vanderwood, joined by our Dragons baseball insider, Mark Hance of the Dayton Daily News. And Mark, a couple of roster moves today. Chris Dickerson back in town. Also Jeremiah Pipcorn, who is a non-drafted free agent signee by the Reds, a fifth-year guy out of North Dakota State University Division II school. Had a pretty decent year this year with the North Dakota State Bison. Hit .376 in 53 games with 21 home runs and 56 runs batted in. But as we look at what this team has done over the last 5 years with guys that you get like Pipcorn, who are guys that are eligible for the draft but are not drafted players, or guys that were drafted by somebody else and then released and signed by the Reds, that kind of works against them from the standpoint of there aren't too many of those guys, at least in the history of the Dragons franchise, that have gone on to a lot bigger and better things.
Well, I don't think there are too many in the history of the world that have gone on to bigger and better things. I can think of one guy that we talked about before that's moved up a little bit, and that's catcher Ryan Hannigan. But basically, these are moves that the Reds are making and other teams in baseball because they're cheap. They get a guy that'll play for a couple of years and help out the organization, and they're really not prospects.
Hannigan this season batting at .279 with a home run and 12 runs batted in, heading into action tonight for the Potomac Cannons, one step above the Dragons in high A. Is that essentially the same thing, that basically what it comes down to is if on average 2 of these 25 players that are on the roster at any given time will make it to the major leagues, and these other 23 guys are just going to be fill-in players? And obviously we'll preface that by saying sometimes you're going to have more players off a roster, sometimes you'll have fewer, but essentially there's 3 or 4 guys that are considered prospects, and everybody else are just kind of fill-in guys because you need that many players to field the full team.
Absolutely. We've been lucky in Dayton because the first 2 years we had a lot of prospects on the 2 teams in 2000 and 2001. And you'll have as many as 5 or 6 guys from each of those teams that eventually make it. But generally, there are only going to be 2 or 3 guys that make it to the major leagues, and the rest of them are just fill-in organizational guys.
Are there fewer prospects in the Red system, or are there just fewer prospects that are being sent to Dayton?
I think there are a few prospects in the whole system. I think it started last year, and this year I don't see nearly the number of guys. I see guys that are going to make the major leagues, but I don't see guys that are going to make a difference in the major leagues. Maybe Dickerson, if he continues what he's done here. Edwin Encarnacion is a difference maker, I think. I like Kevin Howard. I don't know that he's going to be a difference maker, but there are certain guys, but I think the Reds, there's a reason that Baseball America ranks the Reds as the 26th best minor league organization because they don't have very much talent.
Is that something with the Reds from what you've seen, or something for any major league team, any major league organization, that you can change the status of your minor league system? I mean, it doesn't seem to me like it's like the NBA or it's like a college basketball team where you can have one good recruiting class or one good year in the draft and turn things around. This is kind of a slow process in baseball.
Well, I think you can have, if they had a draft like the one that they got Austin Kearns 1 and Adam Dunn 2, that was the 98 draft, I believe. And those guys are in the system for 3 or 4 years, and as they move up, that strengthens your system. You only need a couple of guys like that. But I don't think that they have any guys like that right now. I mean, all their pitchers have had arm surgery, and all their fielders are basically 2 or 3 tool guys instead of 5 tool guys. So I think they could get really healthy in a couple of weeks, but I don't know that the Reds are going to put out the money to sign those guys.
Hey, Mark, as always, appreciate the time. Great insight again, and we will chat with you bright and early tomorrow before the finale of the 4-game series. with Cedar Rapids. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We'll take a timeout. I know you're lying. We'll take a timeout. We're back with more on the pregame show on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hey, today's the day. Don't miss another moment to talk to your doctor about Cialis. Because Cialis is here. Find out today if a free sample of prescription Cialis tadalafil is right for you. You can learn more about Cialis by visiting www.cialis.com or by calling 1-8774-CIALIS. Cialis is here. Are you ready?
ESPN 1410 WING invites you to the annual Boys and Girls Club of Dayton Golf Outing, Monday, July 19th at Walnut Grove Country Club, sponsored by Bearing Point and Taco Bell. Enjoy a day of golf at beautiful Walnut Grove, along with door prizes and a great summer cookout while helping out the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dayton. That's Monday, July 19th, with registration at 11 a.m. and a shotgun start at 12:30. All proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Clubs in direct support of their mission to inspire young people to become productive, responsible, and caring citizens. For more information and registration, call 937-331-7200.
The word value gets tossed around so much in advertising, it's sort of become devalued. So let's get back to the essential meaning of the word. Value means getting more for your money, which brings me to the Shell MasterCard from City Cards, the card that adds value by lowering the cost of driving without lowering the quality of fuel. When you buy Shell gasoline with the Shell MasterCard from City Cards, you'll get a 5% rebate. That's 7 cents per gallon at $1.40 per gallon. When you buy anything else with the card, you get a 1% rebate. Now, if that's not the definition of value, I don't know what is. You earn Shell gasoline rebates with every purchase. And since your time is valuable too, applying for the card is easy. To apply for the Shell MasterCard from City Cards, stop by your local Shell station for details. Or call 1-877-MY-SHELL. That's 1-877-MY-SHELL. 1410 ESPN.
Back at the ballpark, and let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the Dayton Dragons. Elvin Beltray to lead things off. He is in center field. Batting second, Evan Conley at second base. Joey Votto batting third. He is at first base. Batting fourth at right field, Ryan Fry. Walter Olmstead will bat fifth. He is at first base. Kyle Smith hitting sixth. He'll get the start in left field. Jeremiah Pipcorn making his professional debut. He'll bat seventh. Get the start at third base. Miguel Perez batting eighth. He is the catcher. Batting ninth is shortstop Will Hudson. The Dragons, managed by Alonzo Powell, Midwest League affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds, come at 19 wins, 26 losses, 10 games behind the Eastern Division leading South Bend Silverhawks. On the other side of it, Quan Cosby led Cedar Rapids Kernels. They're the Midwest League affiliate of the Anaheim Angels. Quan Cosby will lead things off. He is out in center field. Howie Kendrick back second. He is at second base. Bobby Wilson at third base batting third. The shortstop, Matt Brown, hitting fourth. Batting fifth, Caleb Mayer. He is the DH. Matt Pauley hitting sixth. He's at first base. Blake Balcom at seventh and gets the start at right field. Aaron Peel batting eighth. He is in left. And batting ninth and getting the start behind the plate, Tommy Duenas. On the hill for the Dragons, right-hander Josh Thigpen, 6'4", 220 pounds. He is out of Green Hill, Alabama. Thigpen on the season, 3-3. Micah Posey, 6'5", 220 pounds, out of Tallahassee, Florida. Gets the start for the Kernels. The left-hander, 5 wins, no losses, with an earned run average of 2.51. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and have the first pitch in all the action. You're listening to Dragons Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Join us this season for the Hometown Heroes celebration. Hometown Heroes is a season-long tribute to the men and women from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and the Springfield Air National Guard Base who safeguard and support our nation's defense. More than that, we celebrate their ongoing contributions to the Dayton region's economy and quality of life that make living and working here so enjoyable. Along the way, we'll also include some fun surprises, so be sure to join us at the Dayton Dragons game to share in our Hometown Heroes celebration. This fun and important important tribute to our area's military installations is brought to you by the Dayton Development Coalition, a partner in the regional effort to enhance business and community development. For more information about the Dayton Development Coalition, please visit our website at www.daytondevelopment.org.
The word value gets tossed around so much in advertising, it's sort of become devalued. So let's get back to the essential meaning of the word. Value means getting more for your money, which brings me to the Shell MasterCard from City Cards, the card that adds value by lowering the cost of driving without lowering the quality of fuel. When you buy Shell gasoline with the Shell MasterCard from City Cards, you'll get a 5% rebate. That's 7 cents per gallon at $1.40 per gallon. When you buy anything else with the card, you get a 1% rebate. Now, if that's not the definition of value, I don't know what is. To apply for the Shell MasterCard from City Cards, stop by your local Shell station for details. Or call 1-877-MY-SHELL. That's 1-877-MY-SHELL. Stop by any Miami Valley Shell dealer today and get your application for the Shell MasterCard from City Cards. Shell MasterCard from City Cards. 1410 ESPN.
Back at the ballpark, Mike Vanderwood with you on 1410 ESPN Radio. The Dayton Dragons and the Cedar Rapids Kernels getting set for game number 3 of the 4-game series. Dragons victorious in the Tuesday ball game by the score of 2-1. The Cedar Rapids Kernels won Monday night, a game that was suspended and carried over until Tuesday. They won that one by a 2-1 score. And this is game number 3. Whoever wins this one has a chance to go for 3 out of 4 tomorrow afternoon. Micah Posey, a left-hander for the Kernels. For the Dragons, it will be right-hander Josh Dickerson. They're standing for the national anthem. We'll take our final timeout, come back with baseball after the break on 1410 ESPN Radio.
What if you could see 5 signs of improved health in just 4 weeks' time? Signs like silky hair, healthy vitality, a toned body with strong, firm muscles. You'd turn to prayer, wouldn't you? And you'd brush your soft, shiny coat against the ones you love. Well, you would if you were a cat. Feed your cat Imes and begin to see signs of a healthier pet in 4 weeks. Stronger, skinnier, healthier. That's something for both of you to purr about. Try Imes. Start those 4 weeks today and get purring. Imes. Good for life. Which day do you want to be a millionaire? It can happen on a Tuesday, a Wednesday. That is very good. It can happen on a Friday, Saturday. It's telling you it's good. With Mega Millions every Tuesday and Friday, and Super Lotto Plus every Wednesday and Saturday, you can play the Ohio Lottery Big Jackpot Games 4 days a week, every week. You don't have to wait.
Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Please play responsibly. Right now at Roadrunner High Speed Online, it's the Act Fast, Get Faster sale. I'm here with Steve Roadrunner to spread the news on this special limited time offer. So at the Act Fast, Get Faster sale, we've got faster downloads, faster surf speeds, faster everything. Roadrunner also gives you highly customizable site features to deliver the online information you want faster. Plus access to free security software with antivirus and firewall protection. The Act Fast, Get Faster sale won't last long, so don't miss your chance to save big on Roadrunner. The high-speed online you can miss it.
Call Time Warner and get free installation. Plus your first 6 months at $29.95 per month. Call 1-800-RoadRunner. Hurry, offer ends May 31st.
Hurry! The Act Fast, Get Faster sale is going, well, fast. Call now and save big. With Roadrunner, your world is always on. Security software is not available for Macintosh computers. eTrust Easy Armor Security Suite software must be downloaded on Roadrunner, subject to terms and conditions. Roadrunner reserves the right to discontinue any feature or offer at any time.
1410 ESPN. Dayton Dragons baseball is on the air.
Into the pile, this one may be gone. Dragons are going to lead it deep out to right. Cedar.
The Miami Valley Golf team is fired up and ready to take on the Midwest League. From Mandalay Sports Entertainment and the Dayton Dragons, this is Dayton Dragons baseball.
Right down the line and left, way back, and gone.
Follow every play of the Dragons season from the first pitch to the final out and all the exciting baseball action in between.
This one's gone in ball game. Oh, he hit the mile.
exclusive coverage of Dayton Dragons baseball is brought to you by 1410 ESPN Radio, WING-AM, Cincinnati Bell, the Dayton Daily News, Dayton Power and Light, Fifth Third Bank, Heidelberg Distributing and Budweiser, Kettering Medical Center Network, Kroger Food Store, and Votto Network. How about the Dayton Dragons picking them up in bunches? Now, let's head out to the stadium and the voice of the Dayton Dragons, Mike Vanderwood.
Good evening once again, everybody. Welcome to Dayton Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio. Mike Vanderwood with you from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Game number 3 of the 4-game series between the Dayton Dragons and the Cedar Rapids Kernels. The Dragons at 19 and 26, 10 games behind South Bend in the Midwest League's Eastern Division. In the Western Division, you have got Cedar Rapids in second place, tied with Peoria, both clubs at 25 and 19. And both teams 3 full games behind the Kane County Cougars. On the hill tonight for the Kernels, left-hander Micah Posey. He is 6'5", 220 pounds, made his professional debut in this ballpark last season against the Dragons. On this 2004 season, Micah Posey, 5 wins, no losses. He's on for the 9th time, 8th time as the starting pitcher. Does have a complete game. It was a shutout with a 5-0 record, a 2.51 earned run average in 46 and 2/3 innings. Posey's been stingy, allowed just 33 hits. He has struck out 31, walked 11. The Midwest League batting .202 against him, and he has given up 14 runs, and 13 of those 14 runs have been earned. He will face Elvin Beltre, Evan Conley, and Joey Votto for the Dragons, the top 3 in Alonzo Powell's lineup tonight. Kernels won the first game of this series 2-1. The Dragons won the second game of this series 2-1. These two teams have really not lived up to exactly what they should as far as the hitting and as far as the pitching goes. The Kernels came in first in the Midwest League in hitting, the Dragons last in pitching. Dayton still last in pitching, but they've shaved nearly 0.2 of a run per game off of the earned run average, and the Kernels' overall team batting average has dropped 9 points, and they've fallen from first to third. So pitching has definitely ruled the series so far. And our first pitch at 7:37 Dayton Dragon time. To strike down the inside corner, we are underway. 0-1 to Elvin Beltre. 68 degrees at the start of the ball game. Southeast winds tonight at 10 miles an hour. The 0-1 in there for a strike, and the count now 0-2. Nick Monaco on the plate, Jesse Redwine, the umpire, on the bases. And Micah Posey quickly ahead. And if you're Posey right here, he may go rolling away on Beltre. Had a tough time handling that pitch in the ball game last night. 0-2 back on the inside. Fouled it off, did Beltre, back off the screen. And the count stays no balls, 2 strikes. Elvin Beltre at 214, 3 home runs and 10 RBI. In the completion of the suspended game, Beltre last night, this one popped up on the infield. The shortstop, Matt Brown, makes the catch. Beltre retired. 1 down in the inning. Dragons last night, in a game that was tied up at 1 apiece, the Kernels get a run in the bottom half of the 7th inning to take a 2-1 advantage. The Dragons have the bases loaded in the top half of inning number 9 with nobody down. A strikeout, a pop-up on the infield, and a ground out, and the Dragons could not get the tying run home, which was just 90 feet away. Cedar Rapids had a similar situation in the bottom half of the 9th inning in game number 2, so neither team really great at executing last night when the chips were down, at least in a couple of extreme circumstances. Ben Himes got the winning runs home for the Dragons with a 2 RBI triple in the ball game last night. That was in the top half of the 9th, snapping a 0-0 tie. Dragons went on to win the ball game by the score of 2-1. 2 balls, no strikes to Evan Conley. Dragons second baseman Conley at 3-11. No home runs and 3 RBI. Strike called on the outside corner, now 2-1. Conley getting the start for the second consecutive ball game at second base. Hot shot past the diving third baseman Bobby Wilson. That's a clean single out into left field. Evan Conley has the first hit of the ball game. The Dragons with a runner on board. And that will bring up the DH, Joey Votto. May have said Votto during the pregame introduction was the first baseman. Votto, the designated hitter. And Walter Olmsted, the first baseman tonight for the Dragons. Defensively for the Kernels, you've got Bobby Wilson at third, Matt Brown at shortstop, Howie Kendrick, our first look at him. He is at second base, a pitch down to the dirt. Got away from Tommy Duenas, but he's able to keep it up on the third base side. No advance from Conley, in the count of ball and no strikes on Joey Votto. Votto at 305, 5 home runs and 28 RBI. Bobby Wilson, 15 feet off the line, a step behind the bag at third. Matt Brown at shortstop, Howie Kendrick at second, double play depth. The pitch to Votto. Inside corner for a strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Runner at first base, Evan Conley being held on by Matt Pauley. Tommy Duenas behind the plate, and the outfielders left to right. Aaron Peel on left, Quan Cosby in center. Blake Balcom in right field. Curveball catches on the inside corner, and the count now 1-2. Micah Posey, a big, tall left-hander, 6'5", 200 pounds. He goes to work here against the batter Joey Votto. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the pitch coming home. Votto just did get a piece. I'm not sure how Joey even hit that baseball. That one looked like it caught the very edge of the bat. Fouled back just out of the reach of Tommy Duenas. Votto stays alive. The count at a ball and 2 strikes. Evan Conley with a 1-out single. He is on at first base. Votto a 305 hitter. 5 home runs and 28 runs batted in. That one fouled back off the screen for Votto again. Fouls off a 2-strike pitch. Joey leads the team with 30 base on balls. Second on the team with 29 runs batted in also. Second, actually now third on the team with 5 home runs. Kyle Smith has got 6. Back over to first base, Conley back in with a dive. Aaron Peel in left, Quan Cosby in center. Blake Balcom out in right field. And a huge gap in between Balcom and the right field corner. As again, Posey goes outside. Votto slams it foul. Quan Cosby shaded well over onto the shortstop side. There's got to be 300 feet in between Cosby, who plays over at left center, and Balcom, who is shaded well into right center. Almost near the gap. And about 200 feet between Balcom and the line in the right field corner. 1-2 pitch, hot shot off the glove of the shortstop. Matt Brown that scoots out into shallow left center. Conley up to second base. He'll stop there. And we'll wait and see. They'll go hit. That was a hard hit ball. And a short hop, Matt Brown. Tough play for the shortstop to make. And now the Dragons with runners at first and second. And so just one down. That'll bring up the Dragon right fielder Ryan Fry. Fry, the team leader with 9 home runs. Also the team leader with 28 runs batted in. Batting average has taken a little bit of a dip on this road trip down to 224. Pitch coming home to the right-hander. Fouls it back out of play. And the count 0-1. Ryan Fry, a guy that has got tremendous opposite field power. $11 doubles on the season. 20 of the hits that he has picked up. 20 out of Fry's 35 hits are extra base hits. And the 0-1 coming home. Out in front of a straight change. And the count now 0-2. Swing and a miss by Fry. Runner at second base is Evan Conley. Runner on at first base is Joey Votto. Back-to-back singles by the Dragons. They've got first and second here with 1 down. Top half of the first inning. Micah Posey, the left-hander out of the stretch, double play ball. Second baseman Kendrick underhands the shortstop Brown for 1. Back over to first base. That is a 4-6-3 double play. Dragons are done in their half of the first inning. No runs, a couple of hits, no errors, 1 runner stranded. Dragons with nothing across. The Kernels coming up on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Looking for a job? Here's your best chance to meet recruiters face-to-face. The Dayton Daily News Job Market General and Security Clearance Hiring Event from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday, May 18th at the Holiday Inn Miamisburg. 2 pavilions, free admission, resume database available. If it's time to make a career move, then make it happen at the Dayton Daily News Job Market Hiring Event Tuesday, May 18th at the Holiday Inn Miamisburg. Don't miss it.
This Memorial Day, remember those who have sacrificed so much to bring peace, freedom, and democracy to the world. Shake the hand of a veteran. Display your flag with pride. Take a moment to remember those who can't be with us today. And join Kroger in celebrating America's heroes.
You'll find everything you need to make the holiday weekend a memorable one at Kroger. Right now, with your Kroger Plus card, family packs of Tyson Fit and Fancy, tenders, or skinless boneless chicken breast, or buy one, get one free. USDA select boneless ribeye, strip, or T-bone steak at $5.99 a pound. The new crop of naturally sweet California cherries is in, and the price right at just $1.99 a pound. And all 24 packs of Pepsi are $4.88. Do your Memorial Day cookout the right way with Kroger. Right store, right price.
1410 ESPN.
Josh Thigpen, 6'4", 220 pounds, out of Green Hill, Alabama. And the right-hander getting the start against Cedar Rapids, his 11th appearance of the season, 6th as the starting pitcher. Thigpen, 3 wins, 3 losses, a 4.19 earned run average. Josh, in 38 and 2/3 innings, has given up 40 hits. He has struck out 26, walked 16. 23 runs allowed, 18 of those runs earned. In the Midwest League batting, .270 against him. And he will face switch-hitting center fielder Quan Cosby, the second baseman Howie Kendrick, and the third baseman Bobby Wilson. And Cosby, a guy that you just assume keep off base. He has got great speed. Well, Miguel Perez threw him out trying to steal a base in the second game of the series, and really it was not close. Not a whole lot of versatility with this Cedar Rapids ball club. Cosby's a switch hitter. You've got Matt Pauley and Nick Kipton as the only 2 left-handed hitters. Everybody else swings the bat from the right side of the plate. Jeremiah Pitcorn, a step in at third base on the infield grass. And the first pitch, Cosby fouls it straight back off the mask of Perez, the Dragon catcher, and the count 0-1. No runs on 2 hits for the Dragons. A couple of first-inning singles, one by Evan Conley, one by Joey Votto. A 4-6-3 double play bounced into by Ryan Fry turned out to be the inning ender. We go to the bottom half of the first, the 0-1. That one fouled straight back. That'll rattle in the rafters above the press box, and the count on Cosby quickly 0-2. Quan Cosby at .245, couple of home runs, and 8 runs batted in. Leads things off for Cedar Rapids here. Fastball missed in tight. Now 1-2. Cosby, a sensational athlete, was a track, football, and baseball standout back in Texas. Cosby from Mart, Texas. The 1 ball, 2-strike pitch coming home. Another one fouled back off the screen. Count stays at 1 2 strikes. Turned his back on then head coach R.C. Slocum. Had a chance to go play, or at least accepted, made a verbal commitment to play his college football at Texas A&M. And instead, got a whole lot of zeros flashed in front of him by the Anaheim Angels, decided to go the baseball route instead. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes as the fastball misses downstairs. Cosby leading things off for Cedar Rapids, bottom half of inning number 1. No score, a couple of hits for the Dragons in their half of the first inning. The 2-2 coming home to the leadoff man. Shot to the first baseman. Olmstead will take it himself. Cosby retired easily at first base, 1 down the inning. 3 unassisted as Walter Olmstead makes the play. And that will be the first out of the inning, our first look at Howie Kendrick. And I'm not sure why Kendrick is just making his first appearance here. May have had a little bit of a nagging injury of some kind. Sitting here on this Kernels ball club at .335. And also good for 4th in the Midwest League. Go along with a .335 average, 3 home runs, 18 RBI. 88 from Thigpen, fastball that missed outside, and the count of ball and no strikes. Howie Kendrick out of Callahan, Florida. Right-handed hitter in the 1-0 pitch. Missed inside. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Dragons defensively. Jeremiah Pipcorn making his professional debut. He is even with the bag at third. The 2-0 pitch outside corner for a strike. With the count now 2-1. Cut of the outfield grass for the shortstop, Will Humpson. Evan Conley, both feet on the carpet. At second base, now he takes a step in. Both feet now on the infield dirt as the 2-1 coming home. Ground ball to Conley. Big bounce, Evan. Back of the outfield grass, sends and fires. Throws to first baseman Walter Olmstead. Second out of the inning. Kendrick retired for 3. That's the second out. And that'll bring up Bobby Wilson. We've seen Wilson behind the plate in this series. We have also seen Bobby Wilson at third base where he is tonight. For the Dragons, the catcher, Miguel Perez. The pitcher, Josh Thigpen of the outfielders left to right. Kyle Smith, Elvin Beltre, and Ryan Fry. Pipcorn activated before the ball game. Just signed his first professional contract with the Reds. Was a non-drafted free agent out of North Dakota State University. Division II school where he was the school record holder for home runs batted in. I also believe he was the leader in games played, may have been for hits as well. Most of the offensive records he owns. North Dakota State, located in Fargo. The 1 ball, no strike pitch coming home. Great curveball from Thigpen. Wilson jumping out of the stocks trying to hit that one. Swing and a miss, and the count evens up at 1-1. Bobby Wilson at .327. 3 home runs and 24 runs batted in. Fastball from Thigpen misses outside. Now 2 balls and a strike in favor of the right-handed hitting third baseman. Beltre again bunched up over towards left center. 2 balls and a strike at the pitch coming home. Ground ball right side past Conley. Ryan Fry will play that one cleanly. A 2-out base hit for Bobby Wilson. And that will bring up Matt Brown. And I think a situation where Beltre just sort of adjusts and kind of drifts over that way on his own. Certainly not any signals coming from the Dragons dugout, but he's got to shade over that way. Now he's a little bit more straight up towards center field, but still on the shortstop side. And as this at-bat progresses, you'll see him kind of drift a little bit over more towards left center, a little bit more over towards left center. Hardly plays what you would consider a straight-up center field. And fortunately for him, he is a pretty good athlete, so he's got to close in a lot of baseballs, especially if they're hit out towards right center. That one rattled around the upper deck. And the count 0-1 on Matt Brown. Brown, the team leader, with 9 home runs, also with 36 runs batted in. A lot of real estate in right center field, wide open between Elvin Beltre and Ryan Fry. That one up and in. No runs on 2 hits for the Dragons. No runs on a hit for Cedar Rapids. Ball and a strike for the shortstop, Matt Brown. Brown in this series has played short. He has played second. He has played first. Runner at first base, Bobby Wilson. He picked up a 2-out single. Olmstead holding him on. He draws a throw, back in with a dive. Bobby Wilson has stolen 3. He has been caught twice. Ball and a strike pitch coming home. Another one fouled back at a play right side. Veterans Memorial Stadium, 3:15 down the line and left. 75 feet out from the left field corner into left center field. A 16-foot high fence. The rest of the ballpark, the fence 8 feet tall. 378 to the gap in left center. 400 feet to dead center. 390 to the power alley in right center field. 325 down the line in right field. And the other 2 measurements of significance is the 1-2. Hammered deep out into left center. Smith looks back, and that one is gone. 2-run home run for Matt Brown. That's a 2-0 Kernels advantage. Home run number 10 for Matt Brown. RBI number 37 and 38. 2-0 Cedar Rapids has the lead. Bobby Wilson, who picked up the 2-out single, jogs home in front of Matt Brown, who just picked up home run number 10. Now Caleb Mayer will be the hitter. 407, the deepest part of the ballpark in extreme left center and extreme right center, just to the right of the batter's eye, 403 feet. Ball and no strikes to Caleb Mayer. Right-hander, he is an outfielder by trade. He's been the DH in every game of the series for the Kernels. A .225 hitter. Couple of home runs, 11 runs batted in. Now 2-0 as the slider misses outside from Josh Bigpen. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Kernels. No runs on 2 hits for the Dragons. A 2-run home run from Matt Brown has got Cedar Rapids on the board. And the 2-0 coming home. This one looped and fouled back on a play first base side. Two balls and a strike. Bigpen is set. Pitch coming home. That one on the outside corner. Now 2-2. Dragons all time in this ballpark. They're 1-1 this season, 2-2 last year, and 1-3 the first year that it opened. The 2-2 coming home to the right-hander. Just missed inside. Now a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Out of the 10 games played, the Dragons are 4-6 at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. 3-2, that one fouled back out of play. Caleb Mayer stays alive with a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. If Mayer can keep it alive, left-handed hitting first baseman Matt Pauley waits on deck. Bottom of the first inning, 2-0 Cedar Rapids Kernels with the advantage. A 2-run home run from Matt Brown. And the 3-2 pitch coming home. Another one fouled back out of play again on the first base side. And we'll have another 3-ball, 2-strike pitch. And the longer the battle generally tends to go, the more that the hitter has the advantage. I'm not sure that Bigpen has anything left that Caleb Mayer has not seen. Jumps out into right field. Ryan Fry over. Can't cut it off. He'll play it on a bounce. And 3 straight hits by the Kernels. Wilson with a single. Matt Brown a 2-run home run. Caleb Mayer picks up the base hit, and that'll bring up Matt Pauley. Pauley, a left-hander, 317, 3 home runs, and 24 RBIs. Bigpen back out of the stretch, middle infield. Will Hunson, couple of steps in, creeps in even closer at shortstop. Cut of the outfield grass for Evan Conley. Fastball that missed downstairs, ball and no strike. Bottom of the first inning, it is a 2-0 Cedar Rapids advantage over the Dragons. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Kernels, no runs, 2 hits for the Dragons. Bigpen trying to get out of the bottom half of the first inning. Pitch coming home. Fastball missed upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Third game of the 4-game series. We'll ramp it up tomorrow with the 12:30 pregame show. 1 o'clock first pitch, 2-0 pitch. Sent foul down the line at third. Pipcorn will give it chase. That one well back into the lawn section, down the line of the left field corner. Now 2 balls and a strike. As the pitch fouled off by Matt Pauley. A 2-run home run from Matt Brown, his 10th of the season. That right now the difference in the ballgame. Dragons did get a couple of hits in their half of the first inning. Not able to score. 10th home run, RBI number 37 and 38. Go back over to first base. In terms of the runs batted in, Matt Brown now tied with Kevin Collins. In terms of the home runs, Matt Brown breaks the tie for third with Ryan Fry. Now finds him 1 behind Brian DePurick of Lansing. And 3 behind Kevin Collins of Lansing. Guy down into shallow left. Kyle Smith comes down. He makes the catch, and Matt Pauly retiring to pop up to left field. And that will take care of the Kernels in the bottom half of the first inning. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 man left. The 2-run home run from Matt Brown has got Cedar Rapids on top, 2-0. Kernels over the Dragons. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Let it smile. I'm gonna let it smile. Let it shine. Let it smile.
DP&L, your energy partner for 90 years, knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on DP&L for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice.
Oh, Frank, this election for president of Beers is getting ugly.
Tell me about it.
They've got an out-of-work comedian running against a horse.
I know, it's a tough decision.
Tough?
Yeah, I like horses, and I like out-of-work comedians. I'm back and forth. You know, what kind of horse is it?
Frank, it's Budweiser. It's a Clydesdale.
Oh, that's good.
It's going to be a landslide. The Clydesdale is unbeatable.
Why's that?
Why? He looks more presidential than a comedian.
Well, that's true.
I mean, he's got that handsome look, the jawbone,
Right.
he's cut, he's buff, he's got those shoes with the ankle warmers.
Yeah, he's got really nice ears,
Yeah,
too.
nice ears, and he smells better.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that debate?
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
The horse doesn't say a word,
Mhm.
and he comes off smarter than the comedian.
Sometimes it's knowing what not to say.
I mean, who would you rather have for president? An irritating comedian
Right.
or a majestic Clydesdale who is symbolic of warm holiday fun?
I'll take the horse.
Hello, in a choice between a horse and a guy who's only part of a horse?
Right.
Give me the horse any day.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
1410 WINGA Dayton, a Radio 1 broadcasting station. Your home for the NBA. This is ESPN Radio.
A 2-run home run from the shortstop, Matt Brown, and they've got the early advantage. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Kernels. The Dragons this inning send up Walter Olmsted, Kyle Smith, and Jeremiah Pipcorn. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Dragons. The first pitch to Olmsted. Fastball that missed upstairs, and the count of ball and no strikes. Olmsted on the season. Walt batting at .279, 4 home runs and 14 runs batted in. Leading things off here, he is a switch hitter, batting right-handed, against the left-hander, Micah Brown. Now 3-0, as again Olmsted takes the pitch outside. Olmsted, the leadoff hitter, 3 balls and no strikes, and the pitch coming home. That one missed outside for ball 4. So Olmsted will head down to first base, has himself the free pass, and that will bring up Kyle Smith. Smith will bat. Olmsted on at first. Nobody down. The leadoff walk from Micah Posey. Fastball to Smith, catches the outside corner. And the count 0-1. Posey's first walk of the night. He is yet to strike anybody out. Smith stands in. Kyle on the season at 189, 6 home runs and 17 RBIs. And the pitch back over to first base. Walter Olmsted, who led the inning off with a walk, on at first. Olmsted, no stolen bases. He has attempted 2, so you don't look for him to go anywhere in a straight steal. The pitch coming home to Smith. Swings through it. And the count now 0-2 in the Dragon left fielder. Right-hander, Pipcorn waits on deck. Put up some great numbers at Division II North Dakota State. But at least one more pitch coming home to Kyle Smith. The 0-2 from the left-hander Posey. That one missed downstairs, ball and 2 strikes. 2-0 Cedar Rapids, top half of inning number 2. A Matt Brown home run, his 10th of the season. One of 3 hits allowed in the Bottom of the first by Josh Thigpen. Ball and 2 strikes. Posey set to go. Back over to first base. Thigpen, 3 hits in his first inning worth of work. The last time that Josh threw, he was outstanding in relief against the Burlington Bees. 4 innings of no-hit, 2 strikeout relief. That was back on Saturday. Snap throw back down to first. Olmstead dives back in, just does. Get back in front of the throw by the catcher, Tommy Duenas. 2 balls and 2 strikes as the fastball floated high and wide on the Dragon left fielder, Kyle Smith. Right-hander for the Dragons, a left-hander for Cedar Rapids. Micah Posey sent to go. Left-hander's pitch coming home. Smith sends it foul straight back at home plate. And Kyle Smith hanging tough. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Micah Posey, perfect on the season. 5 wins, no losses on the year. And the 2-2 coming home to Smith. Count. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball. Posey's got a strikeout. And for Kyle Smith, I believe that is strikeout number 70 on the season. I'll make that number 71. And for the Dragons as a team, 479. Dragons with 478 strikeouts in 45 games. And that is a bunch. First pitch that Jeremiah Pipcorn sees. He takes on the outside corner. 0-1. Strike on the Dragon third baseman, making his professional debut. Pipcorn put up some great college numbers this season as a senior at North Dakota State, where he played shortstop primarily in 53 games. A .376 batting average, 21 home runs, and 56 runs batted in. 17 doubles, 4 triples, 7 out of 9 in the stolen base department. He is out of Sauk Rapids, Minnesota. Fastball that missed inside, count evens at 1-1. 6'4" and 200 pounds. And I've been to Fargo, where North Dakota State is at, and actually, I believe, have seen the home field that they play on. If it's the same one as the Fargo Moorhead Redhawks of the Northern League, that's a great ballpark. The 1-1 coming home. Tapped it foul. This one back towards Alonzo Powell in the third base coach's box. Zoe flips it to a fan behind the dugout, much to the chagrin of the clubhouse manager at Cedar Rapids, Ron Rhodey Plain. Rhodey normally tracks those things down, but I tell you what, Zoe makes a friend in the front row by flipping that one out. The 1-2 pitch down to the shortstop. Second for 1, back to first base. Not in time. Pipcorn able to leg it out. Avoids the double play. Olmstead forced at second. Matt Brown to Howie Kendrick, 6-4. First, second out of the inning. And Pipcorn safe with a fielder's choice. Welcome to the Dragons and the Midwest League, Jeremiah. 0 for 1, but he's on with a fielder's choice. He's there with 2 down for Miguel Perez. 2-0. Kernels with the advantage. 2-3-0 for Cedar Rapids. 0-2-0 for the Dragons. The southpaw Posey trying to get himself out of the top half of inning number 2. A 2-run home run from Matt Brown. And a swing and a miss by Miguel Perez. The count 0-1. Trying to see if Miggy, I don't recall if he hit a home run last season. If he did in his limited time in Dayton, I know he didn't have a whole heck of a lot of them. Miguel Perez last year with the Dragons, no home runs and 3 RBI in 58 games. Snap throw down to first. Pipcorn with a dive back in. He is safe. Tommy Duenas was so far really firing the baseball all over the place. Kind of some surprising news today out of Tennessee. Sounds like Ohio State, the former Ohio State running back, Eddie George, is going to be let go by the Tennessee Titans. Guy out into shallow left. Aaron Peel camps underneath. He makes the catch. Perez retired. And the Dragons down in the top half of inning at number 2. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. We've played an inning and a half. 2-0. Cedar Rapids down a home run by Matt Brown. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Here's
only one area medical center that has received 5-star ratings in the treatment of heart attack and stroke, named best in the region for overall cardiac services, ranked among the 100 top medical centers in the country, top 50 by U.S. News and World Report, and named among the top 3.5% of all medical centers in the nation for overall clinical excellence. That's Grandview Medical Center, Grandview and Southview Hospitals. The knowledge to heal, the compassion to care.
When it comes to innovation, there are baby steps, there are big steps, and there are the steps of men who shop at big and tall stores. It's those steps that belong to Donato. First, they brought you no dough, a revolutionary way to eat pizza without the crust. But they didn't stop for a high five or an attaboy. With quiet conviction and brilliant gusto, they sought a way to enjoy Donato's oven-baked subs without the carbs. In search of something worthy of encapsulating only the freshest ingredients, they discovered a tortilla, and it's whole wheat. With that, the Donato's low-carb tortilla sub was born. It's loaded to the edges and warmed in the oven for a taste that'll warm your heart. The new Donato's tortilla sub in any great sub flavor. From the grilled chicken club to the steak and cheese, they're mouth-watering and they're melted.
1410 ESPN.
For the bottom half of inning number 2. 2-0. Cedar Rapids with the advantage over the Dragons. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Kernels. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Dayton. And this inning for the Kernels, 7-8-9. Blake Balcom, Aaron Peel, Tommy Duenas against the right-hander from Green Hill, Alabama. The 2-run home run from Matt Brown, the difference in the ball game right now. And Big Ten's first pitch. 88-mile-an-hour fastball outside corner for a strike at a count 0-1. Bottom half of the second, game number 3 of the 4-game series, and I believe this is the halfway point of the trip. This one hammered down to center field. Beltre going back, still going back. That one is gone. A 400-foot home run for Blake Balcom. Second long ball that Big Ten has given up. That one right over the 400-foot mark, and Beltre just ran out of room. It's now a 3-0 ball game in favor of the Cedar Rapids Kernels. And mentioned the difference in terms of Big Ten's numbers when he is a starter as opposed to a reliever. And Big Ten this season had some better numbers in relief. And that one, boy, not much you can do there. That was a pretty good pitch. Fastball was down in the zone, and that's just a heck of a poke by Blake Balcom. The third home run, 15th RBI. Now a 3-0 advantage for the Kernels. 3-4-0 for Cedar Rapids, 0-2-0 for the Dragons. The Big Ten, that one fouled back out of play. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Big Ten had only given up 2 home runs in his previous 38 2/3 innings. The home run that Brown hit was down in left center over the 378 side, and that one hit by Balcom was over the 400-foot side. Yanked and fouled down the line at third base into the Dragon bullpen. That'll carry him off the wall down into left field. Kyle Smith will underhand it to a fan. Down in the picnic area, down in the left field corner, the count of ball and 2 strikes on Aaron Peel. Peel at 210, 6 home runs and 13 RBIs. Kernels with 2 in the first inning on the Matt Brown home run. A solo home run from Balcom here, and the 1-2 coming home. Sweeping slider got him. 71-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Peel down on strikes. First strikeout for Josh Bigben. First out of the inning. Going to bring up the catcher, Tommy Duenas. Actually, last night marked the halfway point of the trip. 12-game, 12-day trip. The Dragons went 3-1 in Burlington. Right now tied 1-1 with Cedar Rapids. This is the 3rd game of the series, and after this one, we'll finish it up tomorrow afternoon. And 4 games in Fort Wayne, and then back home on Tuesday night. I believe the Dragons take on the Battle Creek Yankees. They do, beginning on June 1st. The first, the second, the third, and the 4th of June, all 7 o'clock games. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, and the count now 0-2. Sure, one of those in that 8-day homestand going to be a television ball game. And that will actually be the... What game will that be? The 4th, Friday night. Ball and 2 strikes. I believe on Friday that our good buddy Chad Duff will be filling in on the radio side of it. I'll be over doing some TV. But that's a ways off. Ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch coming home here. Swing and a miss. The ball gets away from Miguel Perez. He has to clean it up down at first. Olmstead, a nice target on the foul side of the bag at first base. Duenas is down on strikes, 2-3. Second out of the inning. Both outs of the inning via the strikeout for John Six, and he's got 2 on the night. Boy, a nice job on both ends of it by the Dragons. Perez didn't panic, cranked it down. Olmstead at 6'6", 260 pounds, gave Miguel a very inviting and a big target. Set up on the foul side of the line at first base. And Duenas retired, second out of the inning. That'll bring up Quan Cosby. 3 runs, 4 hits for Cedar Rapids. No runs on 2 hits for the Dragons. Couple of singles, couple of home runs for Cedar Rapids. The one hopper to Evan Conley, backhanded, slipped a little bit as he planted on the cut of the outfield grass behind the bag at second base. Quan Cosby retired, and Cedar Rapids done in the second inning. Blake Balsom's leadoff home run gets the Kernels a little further in front of the Dragons. We have played 2 complete innings. It is a 3-0 Cedar Rapids advantage through 2 on 1410 ESPN Radio.
This Memorial Day, remember those who have sacrificed so much to bring peace, freedom, and democracy to the world. Shake the hand of a veteran. Display your flag with pride. Take a moment to remember those who can't be with us today. And join Kroger in celebrating America's heroes.
You'll find everything you need to make the holiday weekend a memorable one at Kroger. Right now, with your Kroger Plus card, family packs of Tyson Fit and Fancy, tenders, or skinless boneless chicken breast, or buy one, get one free. USDA select boneless ribeye, strip, or T-bone steak of $5.99 a pound. The new crop of naturally sweet California cherries is in, and they're priced right at just $1.99 a pound. And all 24 packs of Pepsi are $4.88. Do your Memorial Day cookout the right way with Kroger. Right store, right place. Let it smile. I'm gonna let it smile. Let it smile. Let it smile.
DP&L, your energy partner for 90 years, knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on DP&L for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice.
1410 ESPN.
1-2, Will Hudson, Elvin Beltray, Evan Conley for the Dayton Dragons in the top half of inning number 3. A 3-0 Cedar Rapids Kernels advantage. 3 runs on 4 hits for Cedar Rapids. No runs on 2 hits for the Dragons. Switch hitter, Will Hudson, batting right-handed against the southpaw Micah Posey. Posey has struck out 1. He has walked 1. Curveball that time misses outside. And the count now 2 balls and a strike on the Dragon shortstop. Hudson on the season, batting at 197, no home runs and 8 RBI, swings through a breaking ball. Count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bobby Wilson with the swing and the miss on the strike 2 pitch. Wilson will take a couple of steps back. He's now halfway at third. The 2-2 coming home to Hudson. Shot for the shortstop. Tough in between Humper. Matt Brown sends and fires. Got his man at first base. Hudson retired. Will grounds out to his counterpart at shortstop. 1 down in the inning. And that will bring up the top of the order in Dragon center fielder Elvin Beltray. Couple of home runs for Cedar Rapids on the ball game. Matt Brown, a 2-run shot in the first inning, his 10th. RBI number 37 and 38. And then leading things off in the second inning, the solo shot from Blake Balcom, his third, run batted in number 15. Those two shots right there, the difference in the ball game. 3-0 Kernels in the top half of inning number 3. Each team winning a 2-1 game in this series. The Dragons winning Tuesday night. Cedar Rapids got the opening game victory by that same score. Ball in his strike, Elvin Beltray. Elvin 0 for 1. Pounds up to the shortstop his first time up. Hot shot. Foul. Wide of the bag at third base. Scoots by Dragon manager Alonzo Powell. He'll track it down in the Cedar Rapids bullpen. Alonzo flips it into the seat. Oh, boy. Fan had it and dropped it. Now it's chased down further by Alonzo Powell. And Joe going to do the smart thing. He hands it to a fan down the left field line. Now he's got the long trek back to the coach's box down at third. I would say Alonzo probably ran about 200 feet. Beltray dumps it down the line in right field. Ball come near the corner at right. Makes the catch, sends the second out of the inning. Beltray retired and a fly ball the opposite way. The right-hander the second out of the frame, and that'll leave things up to the Dragon second baseman Evan Conley. South half of inning number 3. Bottom half of the third. We'll pass along some Midwest League scores. Also take a look at the Big League scoreboard. Full slate of games in the Midwest League. Ken Griffey. Boy, how about the night Junior had last night? Unbelievable. If you look at anybody, it seems like on a baseball diamond cross-eyed these days. And everybody gets bent out of shape. Last night, Sean Casey was intentionally walked in front of Ken Griffey Jr. Two-hopper to third base off the bat of Evan Conley. And the Dragons go down 1-2-3 in the top half of inning number 3. Mike Posey cruising right along. He is retired 5 in a row. We're through 2.5 innings of baseball. 3-0 Cedar Rapids. You're listening to Dayton Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Oh, Frank, this election for president of Beers is getting ugly.
Tell me about it.
They've got an out-of-work comedian running against a horse.
I know, it's a tough decision.
Tough?
Yeah, I like horses, and I like out-of-work comedians. I'm back and forth. You know, what kind of horse is it?
Frank, it's Budweiser. It's a Clydesdale.
Oh, that's good.
It's going to be a landslide. The Clydesdale is unbeatable.
Why's that?
Why? He looks more presidential than a comedian.
Well, that's true.
I mean, he's got that handsome look, the jawbone.
Right.
He's cut, he's buff. He's got those shoes with the ankle warmers.
Yeah, he's got really nice ears, too.
Nice ears, and he smells better.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that debate?
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
The horse doesn't say a word, and he comes off smarter than the comedian.
Sometimes it's knowing what not to say.
I mean, who would you rather have for president? An irritating comedian or a majestic Clydesdale who is symbolic of warm holiday fun?
I'll take the horse.
Hello? In a choice between a horse and a guy who's only part of a horse?
Right.
Give me the horse any day.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Boss Honda is the only Honda dealership in Ohio to win the prestigious President's Award for excellence in sales and service for the last 5 straight years in a row. And now Boss Honda is celebrating with a great selection and offers on all of our new in-stock units. Or check out the great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas. All prices are clearly marked, and most are priced below Kelley Blue Book. Hurry in now to Boss Honda, where the difference is award-winning in both sales and service. I-75 and State Route 571, Tip City, just minutes north of Dayton. 1410 ESPN.
Howie Kendrick, Bobby Wilson, Matt Brown, 2, 3, and 4. Against Dragon right-hander Josh Bigpen, bottom half of inning number 3. 3-0 Kernels with the advantage. 4 hits for Cedar Rapids, 2 hits for the Dragons. A couple of home runs into the ball game off of Bigpen. This one down the line in right field, and that one slicing foul off the bat of the right-hander Kendrick. And the count 0-1. Howie Kendrick is 0 for 1. Grounded out to the second baseman Evan Conley back in the first inning. So getting back to the Florida Marlins, who apparently have got their dorsal fins a little bit out of place after Ken Griffey Jr. hits the 3-run home run last night that I believe snapped the 1-1 tie and put the Reds up by the score of 4-1. They eventually went on to win the ball game 5-2. But Griffey, I think for the second time in as many games, intentionally walked. Or Sean Casey, I should say, in front of Ken Griffey Jr. intentionally walked the 0-2 pitch. And Jr. hits a home run. So apparently Jr. going around the bases glared into the Florida dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I tell you what, if you're the Cincinnati Reds, more power to Ken Griffey Jr. Hot shot back up the middle, gets underneath sixth-inch glove. That's out into center field. Howie Kendrick has himself a base hit, and that's the 5th hit of the night for Cedar Rapids. And Kendrick on with a leadoff single. You want your guy to take it a little personally when you walk somebody in front of him, because basically what that other team is telling you, well, we don't think you're good enough to get a base hit. That's not what they're saying, but you've got to look at it like that. And everybody in the article that I had read today on the subject that talked to it said, hey, you know what? He can turn it on and turn it off like that. If he gets a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, he's a better player. And more power to him. And Jack McKeon took offense. Josh Beckett, the pitcher, took offense. Yeah, these are guys that are big league ball players making millions of dollars a year. And if your skin is that thin, where Ken Griffey Jr. glaring into the dugout as if to say, hey, you know what? Maybe you guys won't make that same mistake again. If that gets under their skin, then well, so be it. But Jr. with his 11th home run, now I believe that puts him at 492. 8 home runs away from 500. Ball and no strikes in the pitch. Pulled foul. Wide of the bag at third base. Going down in the left field corner. And now Ron Rhodey trying to outrun Luis Bolivar. And we'll see who gets to it first. I'm going to guess Boli's going to win. And we'll see what Luis does with it. He'll reward Rhodey for his efforts. And Rhodey's not going to give that one up to anybody. He's going to take it and he's going to run it back to the home dugout on the first base side. Well, he does not. Not that he doesn't like the fans getting the souvenirs. They go back into the seats on the fly. Rhodey will let the hometown fans keep them. They're on the ground and they stay in the ballpark. They're going in his BP collection. Ball and a strike. Another throw back over to first base. Howie Kendrick has got some pretty impressive stolen base numbers. He has stolen 9 in 11 attempts. Ball and a strike to Bobby Wilson. Josh Dickerson, the Dragon right-hander. Kendrick lengthens the lead a little bit down at first base. Walter Olmstead holding him on. Ball and a strike. We'll see if he's on the move. Does not go. The pitch missed inside. Snap throw by Perez. They picked him off. They got him at first base. Howie Kendrick picked off. It goes 2-3. Kendrick strayed a little bit too far after the pitch with that secondary lead, and Perez gunned it down to first base, and they got him. 2 balls and a strike on Bobby Wilson. Does not go as a caught stealing because Kendrick was going back towards the bag at first base. Never made a break towards second. Curveball caught the outside corner, now 2-2. If Kendrick would have tried to outrun that throw and go down to second base, then there would have been a caught stealing. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch down in the dirt. That just counts as an assist for Miguel Perez and a put-out for the first baseman Walter Olmstead. Will not count as a caught stealing against Howie Kendrick, nor will it go on the ledger of Miguel Perez as a successful runner thrown out, at least not in a caught stealing sense. The payoff coming home. Curveball, Wilson. Boy, that guy nearly threw his back out trying to hit the Josh Thigpen curveball halfway to Iowa City. Swinging a miss. Thigpen now with his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. 2 down in the inning. Well, and I'm sure right now Thigpen would like to have just 2 pitches in the game back, and we'd still be tied at 0-0. Thigpen has struck out 3, hasn't walked anybody. Josh has scattered some singles. You're going to have a tendency to do that. Certainly the numbers from Thigpen would bear that out. 40 hits allowed in 38 innings, so it's not as if you would expect Dickerson to come out and just strike everybody out. But a pitch up in the zone to Matt Brown a little bit in the first inning, and then Blake Balcom's home run, that was just a good piece of hitting. You know, sometimes a hitter will just beat a pitcher. It doesn't always have to be a mistake pitch. A pitcher sometimes can put the baseball where he wants to put it, and the hitter just does him one better. The 1-0 pitch yanked and foul. Curveball that set up the bat of Matt Brown. Brown had the 2-run home run his last time up. Goes back in the first inning, gave Cedar Rapids the advantage. At 2-0, it's now out to a 3-0 lead. The 2-run home run from Brown, the solo home run from Blake Balcom. 5 hits for Cedar Rapids, a couple of hits for the Dragons, both singles. Evan Conley and Joey Votto had them back-to-back in the first inning. Fouled back out of play, straight back at home plate, and the count of ball and 2 strikes. Bottom half of inning number 3, third game of the 4-game series between the Dragons and Cedar Rapids. Cedar Rapids, after the ball game tomorrow, I believe they welcome in Lansing for 4. While the Dragons continue on to Fort Wayne for games number 9, 10, 11, and 12 on the 12-game, 12-day road trip. The 1-2 coming home. Got it. Swing and a miss. Brown down on strikes, and that will take care of the Kernels in the third inning. No runs to hit, no errors, 1 man left. We have played 3. 3-0. Cedar Rapids with the advantage over Dayton on 1410 ESPN Radio.
When it comes to innovation, there are baby steps, there are big steps, and there are the steps of men who shop at big and tall stores. It's those steps that belong to Donato. First, they brought you no dough, a revolutionary way to eat pizza without the crust. But they didn't stop for a high five or an attaboy. With quiet conviction and brilliant gusto, they sought a way to enjoy Donato's oven-baked subs without the carbs. In search of something worthy of encapsulating only the freshest ingredients, they discovered a tortilla and its whole wheat. With that, the Donato's low-carb tortilla sub was born. It's loaded to the edges and warmed in the oven for a taste that'll warm your heart. The new Donato's tortilla sub in any great sub flavor. From the grilled chicken club to the steak and cheese, they're mouth-watering and they're melted.
DP&L, your energy partner for 90 years, knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on DP&L for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice.
1410 ESPN. For the Dragons in the top half of inning number 4. Votto with one of the 2 hits that Dayton has picked up on the night against Micah Posey. Lefty-lefty matchup here. And again, the Kernels giving Joey Votto a huge gap out in right center field. Fastball that missed upstairs, and the count of ball and no strikes. 3-0 Cedar Rapids leading it. The Kernels with 2 runs in the first inning, 1 run in the second. The Dragons have had 3 base runners on. Evan Conley and Joey Votto both singled in the first inning. Walter Olmstead drew a leadoff walk in the second. Votto erased on a double play. Conley was stranded in the first inning. Olmstead was erased on a fielder's choice. Jeremiah Pipcorn left on base in the second. 3 balls and a strike here to Votto. And Posey's pitch down the way to the left-hander. Inside corner for a strike, and the count now full 3-2. Joey Votto entered play at 305 with 5 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Batting average has gone up a little bit with the base hit. Payoff coming home, this downstairs, ball 4. 31st walk of the season for Joey Votto. And that will bring up Ryan Fry. Fry bounced into a 4-6-3 double play to end the first inning. And taking a look at Joey Votto. Votto with the Dragons last season threw 34 free passes in 195 at-bats. Fry, a hot shot. Nice steer by Bobby Wilson to second for one to first base. That's a 5-4-3 double play. Boy, Wilson stuck his glove down on the ground, and that was almost as much the case of the laser hit by Ryan Fry finding the mid of Bobby Wilson as anything else. Fry hit it extremely well, but right at Wilson. As soon as the third baseman makes that play, there aren't too many guys that are going to be able to leg that one out to break the double play up as hard as that was hit. So 2 down in the inning. Fry bounces into the 5-43 double play, and that'll leave things up to Walter Olmstead. So Votto last season, 34 walks and 195 at-bats. This year, Votto in 153 at-bats has got 31 walks, so a little bit more selective this season, but it seems like that Votto's swinging at better pitches than what he did last season. In those same 195 at-bats, 1 home run, 20 runs batted in. And the number of at-bats that Votto has this year, that is 42 less at-bats, he's got 8 more runs batted in, 4 more home runs. 2 balls and a strike to Walter Olmstead, now 3-1. Dragons hitting some baseballs hard against Mike Posey. The problem is that they've hit them right at Cedar Rapids defenders. Credit the Kernels right now, the defense behind the left-hander making the plays. The 3-1, second walk, and both times Mike Posey has walked Walter Olmstead. A leadoff walk to start things in the second inning to Olmstead, this time a 2-out walk. And we'll see if Kyle Smith can take advantage. So Joey Votto has now walked 65 times. And as far as where that stands amongst the Dragons leaders, I think Adam Dunn walked 100 times in 2000. That, I believe, is the single season record. Strike on the outside corner. Dunn with 100 back in 2000. Austin Kearns walked 90 times that same year. Michael Litri with 57 ranks third. Pitch to Smith, swing and a miss and a changeup, and the count now 0-2. And Mike Posey has got the right-handed hitting Dayton left fielder right where he wants him. Down to the count 0-2. Smith, a strikeout victim, his first time up in the second inning. Bats here with Olmstead on at first. 2 down. Now Smith will ask for time. As far as the individual season records go, the 0-2 pitch, missed in tight. Those are also, I should say, the individual season records. 100 for Dunn, 90 for Kearns. Hard to believe that Randy Ruiz has not had more than 57 walks at the time that he's been here. The 1-2 coming home. Smith fouls it back out of play, first base side. Career records, here we go, that's what I'm looking for. Runners on the move, they've got Olmstead picked off. 1-3-6 goes to caught stealing. And that will take care of it for the Dragons in the fourth inning. Kyle Smith will lead things off for Dayton in the fifth. No runs a hit, no errors, nobody left. We have played 3.5 innings of baseball. Cedar Rapids 3, Dayton nothing. On 1410 ESPN Radio.
You add, we subtract. Let's talk about wireless phone plans and what you're really getting for what you're paying. Because with Cincinnati Bell, you get truly unlimited wireless minutes to call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. for one flat monthly rate. Now that's something you can't get with Verizon or Singular. Plus, when you get our local home phone service, you can add our unlimited wireless plan for only $50 a month, or choose from one of our other great wireless plans. Either way, when you go with Cincinnati Bell Wireless, you get your wireless phone phone and activation free, but never have to deal with contracts or multiple bills. So go ahead, add unlimited talk and subtract unlimited cost. Add more conversation and subtract frustration. It's the one wireless plan that really works here in Dayton. So call, click, or come see us today. Cincinnati Bell. You add, we subtract. Just call 888-PIN-BELL. That's 888-PINBELL. Some restrictions apply to social media.
Working hard! They say the here in home improvement is hard work, so make sure you have the right tool for the job. With a Fifth Third Equity Flex Bond, you'll get a 1.99% introductory APR and adjust the time rate after 3 months. Use it and spice up your space. Working hard! LTD, rate of area and index to the prime rate on the last 3 days of month and loss insurance. Maximum APR will not exceed 25% of the state reduced ceiling and coverage less. $65 annual fee waived for 1 year. Before 100 for SBS.
1410 ESPN.
The difference right now in the ball game is we head to the bottom half of inning number 4. A pitch from Thigpen that Matt Brown hit out in the first inning, and a pitch from Josh Thigpen that Blake Balcom hit out in the second inning. Just 2 pitches in the ball game, but that right now is enough of a difference. It's 3-0 Cedar Rapids as the Kernels bat in the home half of inning number 4. Caleb Mayer, Matt Pauley, and Blake Balcom against the right-hander Josh Thigpen. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Kernels. No runs on 2 hits, no errors for the Dragons. 0-1 to Caleb Mayer. Strike on the outside corner, now 0-2. Mayer, a single back in the first inning. Taking a look at the Dragons' career chart, you've got Dunn with 100, Kearns with 90, Randy Ruiz third with 80, then Chris Williamson with 79. Those are the leaders, I should say, in base on balls. Now Joey Votto fifth on that list, surpassing Mike Calitri. Votto has walked 65 times in his Dragons career. Ball and 2 strikes, and the pitch coming home. Outside corner, got him. Caleb Mayer knew it, meant 3 strikeouts in a row for Josh Thigpen and 5 on the night. And the Dayton right-hander now starting to find his groove, so maybe ignore what I was talking about earlier, Thigpen being more effective coming out of the bullpen. I know the numbers would lead you to believe that, but other than the 2 pitches that were hit out of the ballpark, Thigpen's been pretty tough. Fouled back off the screen. And the count 0-1. And Josh, much like any other pitcher, regardless of the level that you're going to find, you could go from Little League all the way up to the Major Leagues. If you stay down in the strike zone and hit your spots more times than not, you're going to do okay. Every so often, as we talked about it, that one off the inside leg of Matt Pauley. And he will head down to first base, was hit by a pitch. Down, run around at first base, and that really the first 3 pass issued by the Dragon pitcher. Matt is not seemingly limping around too much down there at first base, so Paulie all right. Thigpen has not walked anybody. The hit batsman has a run around at first base. Blake Balcom now the hitter. Home run to center field his last time up. 3 home runs and 15 RBI. The pitch coming home. Hot shot. Jeremiah Pipcorn at third base. A dive, he can come up with it, and that's a base hit. Balcom now 2 out of 2. Matt Pauley advancing to second base on the play. And Aaron Teal now the hitter. Just out of the reach of Pipcorn. Now first and second for Cedar Rapids. Thigpen works out of the stretch. Rainier Feliz starting to loosen down in the Dragon bullpen. Bottom half of the 4th, 3-0 Cedar Rapids with the advantage. Pops up Will Hudson back from his shortstop position. He'll give way to the left fielder Kyle Smith. Smith makes the catch here until retiring to the pop out to left field. That's the second out of the inning. Lead things up to Tommy Duenas. Now let's take a look at the Midwest League scores. I believe I promised those in the bottom half of the 3rd, so I'm a little bit tardy. We'll see what we have as far as the Midwest League numbers. We'll get the most up-to-date ones that we possibly can. Tommy Duenas, the catcher, stands in. Lansing over West Michigan 3-1. Ryan Dempster got the start of that ball game. strike on the outside corner. Top of the third inning, South Bend leading Battle Creek. The Silverhawks with 6 in the bottom half of the first inning. That's a 6-0 South Bend advantage. Top of the second, Peoria 2, Burlington nothing. Top of 3, no score between Fort Wayne and Clinton. No score between Wisconsin and Quad Cities, also in the third. Foul ball by Duenas to catcher. In and out of the mid of Miguel Perez, and the count 0-2. And at the top of the 7th inning, Beloit leading Kane County. That's a 1-0 ball game. I want to take a look here at the box score between Lansing and West Michigan and find out exactly what Ryan Dempster did in the first of what I've been told or what I've heard will be 4 rehab starts. Duenas tried to check. Did he go? You betcha. And that is strikeout number 7 for Josh Thigpen. That will take care of the Kernels in the 4th inning. After a couple of hits with 1 down, Thigpen gets up, pop up to the left field, and strikeout for through 4. 3-0. Cedar Rapids over the Dragons. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Bosch Chevrolet, Ohio's #1 volume Chevy dealer for the past 3 consecutive years, is celebrating this year with Chevrolet and their 5 new models. The biggest lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs just got bigger. Now at Bosch Chevrolet, stop in and check out a great selection of all the new Chevrolet vehicles, all priced and ready to go. With over 600 new Chevrolets to choose from, why go anywhere else? Plus, GM employees and family members save even more. Or, if you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle, Bosch Chevrolet has one of the Miami Valley's largest selections. Over 250 pre-owned vehicles to choose from, including GM-certified used vehicles and hard-to-find cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. Most of them priced below Kelly Blue Book retail pricing. Shop now. Shop smart. Shop Bosch Chevrolet. Home of the best price, best value guarantee every day on any new or pre-owned vehicle. That's Bosch Chevrolet, conveniently located just minutes from your home off I-675 and State Route 48 on Loop Road in Centerville. Stop by in person or visit them on the web at BoschAuto.com.
I'm just wondering if you and me could possibly, if you wanted to play golf with me. I don't know. What's your handicap again? 15. I don't know.
15? Who says a guy can't play hard to get? Who says a light beer can't taste great? SL Light presents the ESPN National Golf Challenge. To see if you have what it takes to become America's best twosome, find your golfing buddy and visit AmstelLight.com or ESPNGolf.com for information on where you can enter the competition locally. Imported by Amstel USA, White Plains, New York. Enjoy Amstel Light responsibly.
1410 ESPN.
Top half of inning number 5. The Dragons trail 3-0, trying to get back into it here. Kyle Smith, who was at the plate when Walter Olmsted was thrown out trying to steal, will lead things off for the Dragons. A curveball strike on the inside corner. Fastball on the outside for the first pitch, and Mike Capozzi, the left-hander, dropped the breaking ball on the inside corner. 0-2 on Kyle Smith. Curveball that missed inside. Ryan Dempster getting the start. 3 innings of baseball. A couple of hits allowed. He struck out 5, did not give up any runs. And Billy Patrick ended up getting the win for Lansing. 1-2 missed outside. The Dempster, who was signed by the Cubs, I believe, is a free agent. Cincinnati had cut ties with him. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch coming home. Hot shot and inside the bag at third base, down to the left field corner. A fair ball. Smith will round first, on his way to second. Got a hustle, throws on the money. Smith able to hook slide in. That's a beautiful slide by Kyle Smith. The ball beat Smith to the bag at second. When somehow Kyle Smith avoided a tag by Howie Kendrick. He is safe at second base with a 2-base hit. I'm not sure how Kyle pulled that one off, but that's a heck of a slide. And the third hit on the ball game for the Dragons. Make that hit number 4. Pardon me. Votto with a couple of singles. Evan Conley also with a base hit. Now Kyle Smith with the double. That is Kyle's 8th double on the season, 4th hit of the game. And the Dragons with a leadoff 2-base hit, and they've got the runner, Kyle Smith, on at second base. And I'm off. That is, I wrote down a single for Votto. Joey is 1 for 1. He reached in the 4th inning on a base hit. So that is the third hit. I was off and did not make the proper notation in the scoring. Oh, a joke and say don't trust the scoreboard, don't trust the announcer. Going to be a tough play. Pipcorn. Grounder, a lot of spin, got past the pitcher, Mike Capozzi. Matt Brown couldn't get the throw in time, and that's the first professional base hit for Jeremiah Pipcorn. And if his parents are listening in Sauk Rapids, Minnesota, I'm here to tell you, when he calls and tells you tonight after the ball game that that was a bullet through the middle of the infield, nobody touched it, in fact, it left a vapor trail. Don't believe the hype. That one just off the end of the bat had a ton of spin, but a base hit's a base hit. And when he tells the story later on, when you see the box score tomorrow, that's going to be a screamer. Either way, not going to count for any more, any less for the first professional hit for the North Dakota State University Bison. He is down at first base. Kyle Smith makes it up to third on the play. Dragons on the corners for the catcher, Miguel Perez. 3-0. Cedar Rapids leading it, but the Dragons threatening here. The first pitch from Mike Capozzi, missed inside. And a ball and no strikes. Perez full out to left his first time up. Aaron Field plays deep out in left field. Quan Cosby straight up, deep in center. Blake Balcom shaded well off the line. Perez out into center field. Should be deep enough. Cosby's arm not that great. He'll make the catch. Smith will tag. He will score. Miguel Perez with his 9th run batted in. Sacrifice fly, good for the RBI. Dragons on the board now with 3-1 ball game. Cedar Rapids with the advantage. Sacrifice fly out to center field. Cosby out in center has the weakest of the three throwing arms. But he's the guy that's got the most speed. He's the best athlete out there. So sometimes with one you trade off and you'll get a plus in a certain category and maybe take an average or a minus in the other. Pipcorn on the move. Ground ball down to third. Second for one. Yes. They got Pipcorn at second base. That was close. I'm not sure that Wilson saw that Pipcorn was on the move, and Howie Kendrick at second base was late getting to the bag and barely got there in time. Fielder's choice off the bat of Will Humpson. Pipcorn out, 5-4 at second base. He's forced, and now Will Humpson out at first, and the center fielder Eldon Beltrek. 3-1. Kernels lead the Dragons. Top half of inning number 5. Snap throw back down to first. Hudson back in with a dive. Now Duenas and Miguel Perez apparently playing the anything you can do, I can do better game. As Duenas out of Miami, Florida, threw back down to first base. Perez already has the pickoff down there. Got Howie Kendrick. Slow getting back into first. Beltray pops it up into foul ground. First base way. Matt Pauley gives chase, as does Duenas. That one back about 5 rows into the seat. And the count on Beltray, 0-2. Kevin Conley waiting on deck. 2 down. Top half of inning number 5. Dragons on the board. An RBI and a sacrifice fly from Miguel Perez. 3-1. Cedar Rapids with the lead. A 2-run home run from Matt Brown in the first inning. Solo home run from Blake Balcom in the second. No balls, 2 strikes here to Beltray. Elvin Beltray 0 for 2. Popped up to the shortstop. Flew on to right field. If Beltray can keep the inning alive, Evan Conley, the Dayton second baseman, would bat next. The left-hander, Mike Capozzi out of the stretch. The 0-2 missed inside. Nice job by Tommy Duenas. And the count now, a ball and 2 strikes. And it nearly happened there, but I think that maybe the most bizarre thing that I've seen in 4.5 seasons of calling Dragons games, the first year we're at Ford Wayne, on a couple of pitches that were in tight, Braxton White had the Dragon catcher, swinging a miss by Beltray. Terrible cut. Swung at a pitch that was 2 inches off the ground and a foot inside. Beltray down on strikes, and that will take care of the Dragons in the top half of the 5th inning. Dayton does come up with a run. 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left. Miguel Perez on the sacrifice fly gets home the first run of the ball game for Dayton. We're through 4.5. It's a 3-1 Cedar Rapids advantage on 14-10 ESPN Radio.
Yes, sir. I wanted to head over to Cedar. Oh, man. I'm really sick of this car. It used to be dependable, not anymore. I guess it's time to start looking again.
No matter why you're looking for a vehicle, check out Dayton Daily News Wheels for new and used cars, trucks, and more. Wheels, only in the Dayton Daily News and online at DaytonDailyNews.com, your #1 local auto source.
Oh, Frank, I heard a rumor about another brewery.
Yeah, which one?
I can't say their name, but it rhymes with Miller.
Okay, all right. What's the rumor?
Well, they've always been jealous that Bud is the king of beer.
Right.
So they're going to start calling themselves the Queen of Carbs.
The Queen of Carbs.
Yeah, that's all they talk about in their ads, so they figured if the shoe fits, wear it.
Louis, how reliable is your source?
Well, my source was the Ferret, so there is a slight margin for error.
I thought.
Queen of Carbs.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
DP&L, your energy partner for 90 years, knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on DP&L for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice.
1410 ESPN.
Back at the ballpark, we go to the bottom half of inning number 5. Rainer Feliz on the hill for the Dragons. Give you some numbers on Rainer. Feliz coming on for his, I believe this is appearance number 2 for Rainer Feliz. How about number 3? No wins, no losses, and 1157 earned run average. He is a hard-throwing right-hander. 7 innings of baseball. Rainer has given up 10 hits. He has struck out 6, walked 3, 9 runs, and all of the runs earned. Midwest League batting .345 against him. And this inning he faces top of the order, Quan Cosby, Howie Kendrick, and Bobby Wilson. 3-1, Cedar Rapids with the advantage. Will also pass along some final numbers for Josh Thigpen. Thigpen got to his pitch quota in 4 innings. Josh, 4 innings of baseball tonight. He allowed 6 hits. He struck out 6, did not walk anybody, hit 1 batter. Gave up 3 runs and all of the runs earned. Rainer Feliz, R-A-I-N-E-R. Feliz, F-E-L-I-Z. He is from the Dominican Republic. This one skied out in the medium left field. Kyle Smith back about 30 feet in front of the warning track in left center. Quan Cosby flies out the opposite way. Switch hitting as center fielder. Batting left-handed goes out to left field. 1 down. That'll bring up Howie Kendrick. Kendrick grounded out to the second baseman Evan Connolly back in the first inning. Singled in the third and then was picked off by Dragon catcher Miguel Perez. Threw behind the runner down to Walter Olmstead. Pitch coming home to Kendrick. Fastball missed upstairs. The count of ball and no strikes. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Kernels. 1 run, 4 hits for the Dragons. Matt Brown a 2-run home run. Blake Balcom a solo home run for the Kernels. For the Dragons, an RBI and a sacrifice fly for Miguel Perez. Micah Posey has gotten himself in and out of trouble all night long. Strike on the outside corner, now 2-1. Feliz, tall and lanky, 6'5" and 170 pounds. Out of Villa Altagracia in the Dominican Republic. That one fouled back off the screen. Count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Feliz, to me, an interesting story. And probably, I would dare say, if you ask anybody in the Reds organization, they will say the same thing. The 2-2 pitch coming home from the tall, lanky right-hander. Grounded past the shortstop, Will Hudson. Kendrick has himself a base hit. He's 2 out of 3. 7th hit of the night for the Kernels. And that will bring up the third baseman, Bobby Wilson. Feliz was a guy last year in spring training who was throwing in the low to mid-80s. A year later, he is throwing in the low to mid-90s. Pitch going home to Bobby Wilson. Fastball that time at 91. Outside corner, and the count 0-1. Not exactly sure where the change came from. I would hate to think at 6'5" and 170 pounds that Rainer Feliz at some point was even more slight of build than what he is right now. A fastball that missed off the outside corner, and the count on the right-hander evens up with a ball on the strike. Elvin Beltre again shaded over into left center. All three Dragon outfielders are deep. Kyle Smith in left, Beltre on the shortstop side over in left center field. Ryan Fry on right center. Ball and a strike to Bobby Wilson. This one fouled back out of play. The count now 1-2 on the Kernels third baseman. Wilson, 1 out of 2 tonight. Singleton scored back in the first inning. Came home on the Matt Brown 2-run home run. He struck out his last time up to end the third. 1 of 6. Josh Thigpen strikeouts on the night. Ball and 2 strikes here. Right-hander Feliz against the right-hander Bobby Wilson. Pitch coming home out into right field. Lazy fly ball for Ryan Fry. Kendrick makes the catch. Fry makes the catch, pardon me. Kendrick scooting back to first base. 2 down in the inning. And that will bring up the shortstop, Matt Brown. Numbers in the big leagues, the National League scoreboard. Bottom of the 6th inning, Atlanta behind a former Burlington B. Russ Ortiz. They've got the 3-1 lead over Montreal. The Mets leading Philadelphia 1-0. Top of the 8th inning, Florida leading Cincinnati. That's a 2-0 ball game. Breaking ball, strike on the outside corner. And the count 0-1. Greg Maddox against Andy Pettit. Houston over Chicago 1-0, bottom half of the third. L.A. and Milwaukee leading 1-0 then in the top half of the third inning. Pittsburgh and St. Louis again in a rain delay. And the 0-1 coming home. Hot shot, foul wide of the bag at third base. San Diego and Colorado. That one starts in about 5 minutes. Anna Meaton against Jason Jennings. And Arizona at San Francisco at 10:05. The former South Bend Silverhawk Casey Daigle will get the start against Kurt Reuter. Not sure what's going on with San Francisco. Last night they had a 10:15 start time. Tonight they've got a 10:05 start time. Not sure the rhyme or reason on when they start their ball games, unless it's 10:15 on a weeknight for some reason. They consider, oh, this is a weeknight. I was going to say, even if they considered Thursday to be the start of the weekend. It's only Wednesday. Fastball that missed off the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes to Matt Brown. 3-1, Cedar Rapids leading it. Kernels batting in the home half of inning number 5. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 down. The runner at first base is Howie Kendrick in the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Matt Brown down on strikes. And that is the first strikeout for Rainier Feliz. We are through 5 innings of baseball. No runs for the Kernels in the 5th. They do get a hit. They strand the runner. 3-1. Cedar Rapids leading it by 2. You're listening to Dayton Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
First, they brought you no dough, a revolutionary way to eat pizza without the crust. Then, with quiet conviction and brilliant gusto, they discovered a way to enjoy Donato's oven-baked subs without the carbs. Introducing the new Donato's Tortilla Sub. All your favorite ingredients on a low-carb tortilla and warmed in the oven. In any great sub flavor. It's mouth-watering and it's melted. This Memorial Day, remember those who have sacrificed so much to bring peace, freedom, and democracy to the world. Shake the hand of a veteran. Display your flag with pride. Take a moment to remember those who can't be with us today. And join Kroger in celebrating America's heroes.
You'll find everything you need to make the holiday weekend a memorable one at Kroger. Right now, with your Kroger Plus card, family packs of Tyson Thin and Fancy, tenders, or skinless boneless chicken breast, or buy one, get one free. USDA select boneless ribeye, strip, or T-bone steak of $5.99 a pound. The new crop of naturally sweet California cherries is in, and they're priced right at just $1.99 a pound. And all 24 packs of Pepsi are $4.88. Do your Memorial Day cookout the right way with Kroger. Right store, right price.
1410 WING AM, Dayton, a Radio 1 broadcasting station. This is Mike Bullock. You're listening to the home of the Buckeyes. This is ESPN Radio.
Cedar Rapids with the advantage over the Dragons as we hit the top half of inning number 6 from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Cedar Rapids. Evan Conley, Joey Votto, and Ryan Fry against left-hander Mike Posey. The first pitch to Evan Conley, a strike on the inside corner, and the count 0-1. 3 runs on 7 hits for the Cedar Rapids Ball Club. 1 run, 4 hits for the Dayton Dragons. Evan Conley tonight, 1 out of 2. This one a 2-hop chopper to the second baseman, Howie Kendrick. He'll center him over to first base. Conley rounds out to his counterpart, and that is 1 gone in the Dayton Dragons' 6th inning. And we'll bring up Joey Votto with 1 down. American League numbers, Toronto at home, taking on the parent club of the Cedar Rapids Kernel. That would be the Anaheim Angels. Bartolo Colon leading Pat Henkin and Toronto. That's a 5-3 ball game at the top half of the 7th inning. More rain in Baltimore. 3-2 Baltimore over the New York Yankees. Mike Messina getting the start for the Yanks. Top of the 6th inning. Boston leading Oakland 6-5. The 1-1 pitch coming home. Votto stepped out. The PA announcer was, I don't think that he noticed that Votto had stepped back into the batter's box. The Dragons were lacking a first base coach during the at-bat to Evan Conley. And I'm not sure who that is that scooted down there to coach. He's got a jacket on as opposed to his team jersey, or has his jacket over the team jersey. Votto tapped it over the pitcher's head. Kendrick, tough play for him. That was back up the middle. Scooted off the heel of his glove over towards shortstop. They may go base in. That would have been a tough play. Kendrick would have had to throw across his body. And we'll wait and see. That would be a tough error to give a second baseman. I think if Kendrick makes the play, he's probably able to throw Votto out because Joey not that fleet of foot. Or not as fleet as some, but that is probably a tougher error to give based on the circumstances in which Kendrick, whose momentum is carrying him towards the third base line, would have had to field that ball. So Joey Votto with his second hit of the night. And for the Dragons, it's now 4 singles and a double. 5 hits total. This is Ryan Fry, sends it foul back out of play. And so the PA announcer here started to go over a read. I don't think that he realized. I believe that might be Luis Boulevard coaching down first base. Anyhow, didn't realize that the first base coach had gotten down there and that Votto was back in the box, and he kept reading off of his script, and that was the delay before Votto picked up the infield single. 0-1 to Fry. Good breaking ball. Swing and a miss, and the count now 0-2. 3-7-0 for Cedar Rapids. 1-5-0 for the Dragons. Top half of the 6th inning. Seattle all over Cleveland. 6-0. Bottom of the 7th. The pitch to Fry. Double play ball again. Shortstop. And second for 1. Down to first. Threw it away. Tommy Duenas backs it up. And Fry safe on the fielder's choice. Joey Votto retired 6-4. Terrible throw from Howie Kendrick back to the first baseman, Matt Pauly. And Fry should have been 0 for 3, bouncing into 3 double plays. Top of the 6th inning, Minnesota leading Tampa 3-2. White Sox shutting out Texas 4-zip. That's the bottom of the 3rd. Kansas City 2, Detroit 1. That one in the 2nd inning. And in the NBA, first quarter, 17-10, Detroit over Indianapolis. 2 down, and a runner at first base for Walter Olmsted. Curveball on the inside corner. Kendrick had a great movement. Almost looked like he threw a split finger pitch. Down to the first baseman, Matt Pauly. He couldn't scoop it and Fry safe down at first base. No balls and a strike. Olmsted out in front of a breaking ball. The count now 0-2. Walter does not have an official time up. He has drawn 2 free passes. Mike Posey has walked 3. 2 of them have been the Dragon first baseman Walter Olmsted. He bats here with Ryan Fry at first base. 2 gone. Top of the 6th inning. 3-1. Kernels with the advantage. Pitch coming home. Olmsted chases it down on strike. Strikeout number 3 for Mike Posey. And the Dragons done in the top half of inning number 6. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 man left. We played 5.5 innings of baseball. Cedar Rapids over the Dragons 3-1 on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Looking for a job? Here's your best chance to meet recruiters face-to-face. The Dayton Daily News Job Market General and Security Clearance Hiring Event from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday, May 18th at the Holiday Inn Miamisburg. 2 pavilions, free admission, resume database available. If it's time to make a career move, then make it happen at the Dayton Daily News Job Market Hiring Event. Tuesday, May 18th at the Holiday Inn Miamisburg. Don't miss it.
Life is always changing, so keep up this weekend with the Dayton Daily News and DaytonDailyNews.com.
2 Whitburg track standouts, 2 very different backgrounds. Who is our Mom of the Year? How's your mind and body? The last section tells all. Why parents switch their kids to Dayton Charter School? Special nurses section Friday. Local teenage job market. How's it look this summer?
You'll find it this weekend at the Dayton Daily News and at DaytonDailyNews.com, your #1 local news source.
Lost Village Cadillac, the only Cadillac dealership in the Dayton area to win both the Platinum Award and Masters Dealer Award for customer satisfaction in sales and service, has a great selection of Cadillacs to choose from, including the all-new SRX SUV and the XLR convertible. It's an experience in driving and design that you cannot let pass you by. Or, if a certified pre-owned Cadillac is what you're looking for, then check out the great selection of certified pre-owned Cadillacs, all with extensive benefits, such as a 6-year, 100,000-mile warranty that starts from the original date of service. Lost Village Cadillac offers great service, convenient locations, as well as convenient hours. Only Boss offers you the best price, best value guarantee. Lost Village Cadillac, conveniently located on State Route 725, just 5 minutes east of the Dayton Mall. Visit them in person or check them out on the web at lostauto.com.
1410 ESPN.
Cedar Rapids with the advantage in the home half of inning number 6. The Kernels send up Caleb Mayer, Matt Pauley, and Blake Balcom. 3 runs on 7 hits for Cedar Rapids. After Mayer fouled the first pitch off with fastball, missed downstairs from Rainer Feliz. The count even jumped at a ball at a strike. Feliz has gone an inning. He's given up a hit. He has a strikeout. Josh Stigson, the starter for the Dragons, lasted 3 at this one fair. It's gone down the line and left, and that one crushed. Caleb Mayer, his 3rd home run. That is the 3rd home run the Dragons have given up on the night. That is now a 4-1 Cedar Rapids advantage. That one hammered down the line and left, got over the 16-foot high fence. It's just 3:15 down the line. You've got to get it high enough up, and not only did Mayer get it over the fence, he got it over everything. That one completely left the ballpark. For Mayer, his 3rd shot of the season, RBI number 12, and it is now a 4-1 advantage. Pauley will stand in. Good breaking ball, swing and a miss, and a count 0-1. Pauley is 0 for 1. He pops up to the left fielder Smith. And his last time up, his last plate appearance, was hit by a pitch. 0 for 1 officially. This one out into shallow center field. The second baseman, Evan Conley, going out. He'll call off Miguel Perez, or actually he'll call off Elvin Beltre. And the right fielder, Ryan Fry. Conley makes the catch. Play what? If you got to call off Miguel Perez behind the plate, 35 feet out into the outfield, we may have the most athletic catcher the game has ever seen. But Perez is able to get out there and go after those. Rainer Feliz, that is the 3rd home run that he has allowed. Bradley George and Derek Hawk have each given up 5. Brock Hill has given up 4, as has Pickman with the 2 that he has allowed tonight. Dragons, as a team, have given up 42 home runs. The 0-1 coming home. The fastball off the outside corner. Balcom has got one of them. Solo shot back in the 2nd. Made it a 3-0 ball game at the time. Now it's a 4-1 game as the teams have traded runs since. The Dragons with a tally in the top half of the 5th. Cedar Rapids answers in one in the bottom half of the 5th. As far as pitching staffs go, with 42, Dayton has served up more than any other team in the Midwest League. The 2-1 slow roller up the first baseline. That'll be a fair ball. Olmsted going to have to hustle. Can't get to it in time. Infield single for Blake Balcom. That one a swinging bunt with a lot of spin. It stayed fair, and Balcom able to avoid the tag of Walter Olmsted, who lunged after Balcom did all he could do, and then goes has about an 85-foot single. So Balcom now 3 out of 3. A home run, 2 singles. That'll put some much-needed padding on the .252 batting average. Dragons as the staff has given up now 42 home runs. The next closest, Beloit with 37 in the bandbox of a ballpark that they play in. Snap throw back down to first, and back in standing up Blake Balcom. Fort Wayne has given up 35, and Wisconsin at 33, and both Burlington and Kane County at 31. Fewest number of the home runs in the league, 19 given up by West Michigan. Swing and a miss, and the count 0-2 on Aaron Field. And that's the toughest ballpark to hit one out of, is West Michigan. And with that in mind, other than Burlington, who's got 13 home runs, the Whitecaps are one of the teams that have got the fewest home run totals. You're looking at the two teams that have the most. Cedar Rapids with 49, Dragons second with 42. 49 includes the 3 that the Kernels have hit tonight. Ball and 2 strikes to Aaron Field. Runner at first base. Blake Balcom 1 down. Bottom of the 6th inning. It's 4-1 Kernels. 1-2. Runner on the move. Throw down to second base. They got him in time, and Perez in this series a perfect 3 for 3. Caught fielding goes 2-4. Balcom is gunned down. Second out of the inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Aaron Field. An impressive enough throw for Miguel Perez, and what I didn't mention when Perez fired that thing down to second base, that was from a knee. That was not Perez standing up and firing down. That was from a knee. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff from Feliz. Got him. Good slider. Swing and a miss. Field down on strike. Second K for Feliz. And that will take care of the Kernels in the 6th inning. But Cedar Rapids does come up with a run. They have got at least 1 hit in every inning. They've got 9 for the ball game. Caleb Mayer, a solo home run. We're through 6, 4-1 Kernels over the Dragons on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Crazy to fall in love with a mortgage from your bank, right? Unless your bank is at Fifth Third. Purchase bills or refinance your home with Fifth Third's low rates, a no money down option, and instant approval. All from the convenience of your local Fifth Third location. Walk in your local banking center and speak to a mortgage loan originator. Call 1-866-53-LOAN or visit us online at 53.com. Who's crazy now? Upon qualification, equal housing lender.
You add, we subtract. Let's talk about wireless phone plans and what you're really getting for what you're paying. Because with Cincinnati Bell, you get truly unlimited wireless minutes to call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. for one flat monthly rate. Now that's something you can't get with Verizon or Singular. Plus, when you get a local home phone service, you can add our unlimited wireless plan for only $50 a month, or choose from one of our other great wireless plans. Either way, when you go with Cincinnati Bell Wireless, you get your wireless phone and activation free, but never have to deal with contracts or multiple bills. So go ahead, add unlimited calls and subtract unlimited costs. Add more conversation and subtract restoration. It's the one wireless plan that really works here in Dayton. So call, click, or come see us today. Cincinnati Bell. You add, we subtract. Just call 888-SIN-BELL. That's 888-CINDELL. Some restrictions apply. See social details.
1410 ESPN.
Miguel Perez again showing off the great arm. John Rogers, the fine radio broadcaster for Cedar Rapids, came in very complimentary of Miguel behind the plate, saying in his 9 years in the Midwest League, and John and I came in the same time. His first year in Cedar Rapids was back in '96, the year that I was a rookie with Lansing. He said in his 9 years he's never seen anybody behind the plate that has got an arm like that. And that includes John getting a pretty good look at Jake Maurer, the year that Maurer was in, or Joe Maurer, pardon me, Jake, his older brother, the year that Maurer was with Quad City. They also had a pretty good catcher here a couple of years back, a guy with the name of Jeff Mathis. 1-1 to Kyle Smith, a swing and a miss, and the count now a ball and 2 strikes. And no doubt about it, Perez, a bona fide prospect as far as behind the plate goes. And I believe that there has now been a Chris Dickerson sighting. The pitch coming home down to the dirt, and I mention that because Dickerson was slated to start. Dickerson had one of those travel days that, well, you know, you're glad when it happens to somebody else, and you've got a pretty interesting story to tell, I suppose, if it happens to you. Dickerson this morning was up by 4 o'clock. He had, I want to say it was a 6 o'clock flight out of Sarasota, comebacker on a 2-2 pitch from Kyle Smith, right back to the pitcher, Mike Posey. And 1 down in the top half of the 7th inning for the Dragons. It's a 4-1 Kernels advantage, 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Cedar Rapids. For the Dragons, 1 run, 5 hits, no errors. And Jeremiah Pipcorn, who's 1 out of 2, picked up his first hit as a professional, the right-hander. Stands in with 1 down, nobody on. Goes old school, no batting gloves. Pitch coming home. Sky down into shallow center field. Quan Cosby ranging over into right center. He'll make the catch. Pipcorn retired, second out of the inning. The 2 gone, that'll bring up Miguel Perez. So Dickerson was supposed to get on a plane. I want to say it was somewhere around the 6 o'clock time frame, and he was supposed to be into Cedar Rapids 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, noon, whatever the time was, in plenty of time for tonight's game. Trainer Randy Brackney gets a call, probably, I would say about 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, something like that. And Chris tells him that his plane never took off. Flight was canceled. So he gets on a flight the second time and is going to go from Sarasota, I believe, to Dallas, Texas, and then from Dallas, Texas to Cedar Rapids. Hot shot by Miguel Perez inside the bag at third base, past the diving Bobby Wilson. Biggie on his horse, and he'll cruise into second base. That's a stand-up 2-out double for Miguel Perez. Now Will Hunson, the batter. Perez rifles the ball down the line. Boy, that looked about as quick as one of his throws. And that may be all for Mike Posey. And it will be. Did not even see Aaron Pullen starting to loosen up down to the bullpen. But Aaron Pullen coming in. And we'll take a 60-second timeout. New pitcher on his way in from the bullpen. We'll finish up the fun day of travel that Chris Dickerson had. And we'll give you some numbers on the new pitcher when we come back. 4-1. Mike Posey gets a nice round of applause for his efforts. Back at 60. 4-1 Kernels on 1410 ESPN Radio.
And now, here's something from Coors Light for everybody out there who loves summer.
I love working on my tan. That girl from the taco stand. Lots of long weekends and twins. I love red, white, and blue. Back up on the ears. Come on, don't love me. And twins. And
Yeah, have yourself a long, hot summer and a nice cold Coors Light. Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. Rock on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Next time you buy beer, pick up some Coors Light and taste the cold, crisp, refreshing difference. .1410 ESPN.
Pitcher for the Cedar Rapids Kernels, Aaron Pullen, 6'3", 200 pounds. He is out of Midland, Texas. Pitched last season with Provo. Lonzo Powell coming up to talk to the home plate umpire, Nick Monaco. My guess would be that you will see Chris Dickerson as the pinch hitter for Elvin Beltray. Derek Hawk starting to loosen down to the Dragon bullpen, but first things first, Aaron Pullen on for the 14th time. 4 wins and a loss, a 6.26 earned run average in 23 innings. He has given up 27 hits, struck out 20, walked 10, 18 runs, 16 of those runs earned. The Midwest League batting .290 against him. Strike on the outside corner to Will Hudson. Hudson, a switch hitter, turning it around, batting left-handed against the right-hander Aaron Pullen. And the 0-1 coming home to Hudson. This downstairs, count evens at a ball and a strike. The runner at second base, Miguel Perez, picked up the double off of Micah Posey, the starter. Posey, 6 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1 run to this point. The run earned. And a 1-1 to Hudson. Ground ball to the second baseman, Kendrick. A little shaky on the field, but recovers in time. Hudson retired, and that will take care of Dayton in the top half of the 7th inning. We'll head to the stretch. Dragons strand the base runner. We're through 6.5, 4-1 Cedar Rapids on 1410 ESPN Radio.
I'll never forget that big game. I just caught this perfect spiral and had a straight shot to the end zone. Then out of nowhere, bam! This linebacker really hit me hard. Well, as I'm sure you've guessed, I was in pretty bad shape until I went to Kettering Sports Medicine Center.
At Kettering Sports Medicine Center, our team consists of over 70 healthcare, sports medicine, and rehabilitation specialists ready and waiting to help get you back in the game. We offer physician injury evaluation clinics, athletic training, physical therapy, hand therapy, sports physicals, and FAST, freight air acceleration sports training that helps you increase speed, agility, power, and self-confidence. Kettering Sports Medicine Center also has convenient locations in Kettering, Inglewood, Tip City, and Beaver Creek.
Today, I'm faster, stronger, and more confident. Let them catch me now.
For more information, call 832-8982. That's 832-8982. Kettering Sports Medicine. For life.
You add, we subtract. Let's talk about wireless phone plans and what you're really getting for what you're paying. Because with Cincinnati Bell, you get truly unlimited wireless minutes to call anyone, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. for one flat monthly rate. Now that's something you can't get with Verizon Singular. Plus, when you get our local home phone service, you can add our unlimited wireless plan for only $50 a month, or choose from one of our other great wireless plans. Either way, when you go with Cincinnati Bell Wireless, you get your wireless phone and activation free, but never have to deal with contracts or multiple bills. So go ahead, add unlimited calls and subtract unlimited calls. Add more conversation and subtract restoration. It's the one wireless plan that really works here in Dayton. So call, click, or come see us today. Cincinnati Bell. You add, we subtract. Just call 888-PIN-BELL. That's 888-PINBELL. Some restrictions apply to social media.
1410 ESPN. New pitcher for the Dayton Dragons, right-hander Derek Hawk. Hawk 6'5", 205 pounds. He is out of Fort Bragg, California. We'll give you some numbers on the right-hander who comes in replacing Rainer Feliz. Hawk on for the 12th time. No wins, 3 losses, a 6.67 earned run average. 25 2/3 innings. Hawk has given up 34 hits, allowed 26 runs, 19 of those earned runs. He has struck out 20, walked 16. Strikeout to walk ratio obviously not great, and the Midwest League batting .315 against him. 2 innings for Rainer Feliz, 3 hits, a couple of strikeouts, no walks, gave up the run. The run was earned. It was the home run for Caleb Mayer. A 4-1 advantage for the Kernels as we go to the bottom half of inning number 7. Also for the Dragons, Chris Dickerson in the ball game. He'll play center field, bat in the leadoff spot for the Dragons.
He will lead things off for Dayton in the 8th inning. The outfielders, Kyle Smith at left, Chris Dickerson now in center, Ryan Fry in right field. Jeremiah Pipcorn at third, Will Hudson at shortstop, Evan Connolly at second, Walter Olmstead at first. The first pitch from Derek Hawk missed outside to count a ball and no strike. Miguel Perez behind the plate. Derek Hawk, the third pitcher for the Dragons. The 1-0 coming home. Out into center field. Dickerson getting tested early. Chris ranging back here. The fence tracks it down. And one down on the inning. Boy, that's the one thing, and not a knock on anybody else who's played center field, but that's the one thing that you miss with Chris Dickerson. If it is in the air, and if it stays in the ballpark, I'm telling you right now, put your money on the fact that Dickerson will make the catch. Tommy Twain has hit it a ton, but one down in the inning. One down, and the pitch from Hawks. Short hops the catcher, Miguel Perez. Juan Cosby 0 for 3. Cosby has grounded out twice. He's thrown out to left. And every time up tonight, Juan Cosby has batted from the left side. He is the switch hitter. 4-1 Kernels, bottom half of inning number 7. The 1-0 to Cosby. Outside corner for a strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Take a look at the Midwest League scores in this half inning. We'll see where we're at as far as the rest of the league goes. One final from earlier today. I know that Lansing took care of the West Michigan Whitecaps, the former King County Cougar, the former Florida Marlin, former Cincinnati Red. Ryan Dempster got 3 innings of work in a reliever in a rehab start. Lansing over West Michigan 3-1. Strike called on the outside corner. That evens things up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 8th inning, Lloyd shutting out Kane County. That's a 4-0 ball game. Top 6, South Bend over Battle Creek 6-2. Couple of games in the 5th. Clinton 5, Fort Wayne 0. Peoria 3, Burlington 1. In the 3rd inning, Wisconsin and Quad Cities are scoreless. Popped up shallow left field. Will Hudson, the Dragon shortstop. 10 feet back on the outfield grass. Juan Cosby retired, second out of the inning. 2 gone on the pop up to the shortstop Hudson with 2 down. And leave things up to Howie Kendrick. Kendrick on the ball game 2 out of 3. 4-1. Kernels over the Dragons, bottom half of the 7th inning. Howie Kendrick, the right-hander, short and shows bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner. Eric Hawk's first inning of relief work. He's gone 2/3 of an inning so far. Josh Thigpen, the starter for the Dragons, lasted 4. Rainer Feliz went 2. Good curveball from Hawk. Kendrick way out in front. And the count now 0-2. Pipcorn halfway at third. Cut of the outfield grass for Hudson at short. Conley at second. This one rolled foul back toward the Dragon dugout on the third base side. Count stays 0-2. Olmstead, 15 feet off the line, halfway at first base in the outfield. Deep and straight up. Kyle Smith at left, Chris Dickerson in center. Ryan Fry in right field. The 0-2 to Kendrick. Fastball foul back off the screen. And for Dickerson, this will be his first game action. I want to check on the date. I want to say it was April. It was at Lansing, that I do know was the Sunday game where he had a little bit of a twinge in the arm, and I think that was the last time that we saw Chris in a ball game. The 0-2 coming home. Ouch. And got him in the back, and Howie Kendrick going to jog down to first base. Fans here a little bit bent out of shape, a little bit upset about the whole thing, but I tell you what, if Derek Hogg doesn't have more smarts than to hit a guy with 2 down, trailing by 3 with an 0-2 count. Let's just say that in talking with Derek, I have found him to be a much wiser individual than to try to do that. So certainly no intent there. Last game that Dickerson played in, the second game of the doubleheader against Lansing back on May 2nd. The 2 down to Wilson, the third baseman taps it foul. So my point being, one got away from Hawk. Certainly there was no intent. Kendrick on at first base. Why would hit somebody on an 0-2 count that is stolen? 9 bases and 11 tries this season. Regardless of who you have as your catcher, the 0-1 coming home. Come back underneath Hawk. Smith Conley at second base. He'll step on the bag himself. Kendrick stopped. halfway between first and second to try to throw Conley off the scent. Evan just simply touched the bag at second base, and that forces the Kernels second baseman and ends the seventh inning. We're through 7, 4-1. Cedar Rapids over the Dragons on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Well, let's see where to start on today's big project. First, gotta check today's big headline. And, hey, that's new. Pretty simple. Well organized. I like it.
Our easy-to-use website merges news, entertainment, classified, and retail advertising into a single homepage, so you can get the information you need with the Dayton Daily News in print every day and online anytime at DaytonDailyNews.com, your #1 local news source.
Yes, sir. Time to head over to Cedar. Oh, man. I'm really sick of this car. It used to be dependable, not anymore. I guess it's time to start looking again.
No matter why you're looking for a vehicle, check out Dayton Daily News Wheels for new and used cars, trucks, and more. Wheels, only in the Dayton Daily News and online at DaytonDailyNews.com, your #1 local auto source. What you want.
Whether it's totally free checking with no monthly fees, Platinum One checking with premium interest, or free internet banking and bill pay, Fifth Third's got it. Or call 1-877-579-5353. Get the checking account you want from Fifth Third Bank. $50 minimum balance required to open an account. Customer purchases checks member FDIC.
1410 ESPN.
Half of the 8th inning, and the Dayton Dragons running out of opportunities. And the return of Chris Dickerson to the plate came on defensively. And Dickerson on the season batting at .346, just off the disabled list. The left-hander with a home run, 10 runs batted in. Dickerson, Conley, and Votto in this inning as Ben Himes will jog down to first base. Dickerson shows bunt, takes the pitch downstairs to count a ball and no strikes. Chris with a little bit of an elbow strain. And the past week was down in Sarasota at extended spring training, getting the timing back in some exhibition games. Everything passed down there as the 1-0 pitch. Inside corner at the knees. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Point, if nothing else, you miss this guy's sense of humor and just looseness about him. Makes everybody around him just a little bit more relaxed. And a 1-1 pitch down into center field. Cosby going back, still going back, drifting to the track, and he leaps up, makes the catch. Wow. Cosby looked completely fooled on that one and somehow tracked it down. So Cosby showing that, hey, I'm not the only guy that can enjoy a good play in center field. Dickerson, who made a great one. The bottom half of the 7th inning had a base hit taken away from him, and Chris was right on that. Hit it well. 1 down in the inning. So 1 gone, Evan Conley the hitter. 4-1, Kernels with the lead over the Dragons. Dayton with 1 down in the 8th inning. Rips it right after the third baseman, Bobby Wilson. Boy, Conley hit that one on the screws. And Wilson climbed the ladder, and I tell you what, that's the kind of night that it's been for the Dragons. Dickerson hammers one to center. Cosby turns the wrong way, tracks it down, makes the catch. And then after that, Evan Conley nearly took the glove off the hand of Bobby Wilson on the screamer that he hit. And with 2 down, that'll bring up the DH Joey Votto. Votto 2 for 2. A couple of singles. He has also drawn a walk. Action down in the Kernel bullpen. Number 38, Wayne Hedden, 6'2", 200 pounds of the Tampa, Florida. Strike to Votto. Didn't offer at it. The count now 0-2. Thought perhaps we maybe would get another look at Bob Zimmerman. Maybe he pitched too many innings yesterday as the 0-2 coming home down in the dirt. Zimmerman threw 2 in taking the loss, and you figure After your closer loses a ball game like that, maybe the best thing to do is get him right back out there as soon as possible. But he might have thrown too many pitches in the 2 innings that he worked, and the 1-2 coming home. This downstairs now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Or if you do throw him today, you don't want to have him in a game that you've got a 3-run lead, not be able to pitch for the next 2 or 3 days following that. I'm not really sure what Anaheim's requirements are as far as how many innings a week a pitcher can get and that sort of thing. Votto watches it hit the outside corner for strike 3. Joey never swung the bat, at least not at the last 2. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Dragons are done 1, 2, 3. Couple of nice plays, and Votto caught a watch in the paint dry. 4-1, Cedar Rapids over the Dragons. You're listening to Dayton Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
DP&L, your energy partner for 90 years, knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on DP&L for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice.
Okay, next question.
All right.
If you were stuck on a desert island, would you rather take your significant other or your TV set?
Would it have cable?
Yes, it would have cable.
Time Warner Digital cable?
Tom.
No, it matters, okay? Because if it has Time Warner Digital cable, I can get the latest movies instantly right on the TV set with movies on demand with eye control.
Oh?
So, there are no video stores on the island.
You know what, you're scaring me.
And I can pause live TV. So let's say an airplane were coming.
Yeah.
I could hit pause and go run after it.
Uh-huh.
Save myself.
Really?
Yeah, I can record my favorite shows without a VCR, so if I'm out, say, chopping coconuts, for example, yes, I won't miss anything. And unlike satellite, I'll get perfect reception even with the tropical rain.
Right.
This is a tough one. Okay, I'd say, okay, if it was satellite, I'd choose you. But Time Warner Digital cable...
You would choose the TV.
But you came in a very close second, hon.
Call now for digital programming packages starting as low as $29.95 per month. Call 1-866-44-CABLE. Some restrictions may apply.
1410 ESPN.
Derek Hawk was very sharp in the inning that he throws. Hawk goes an inning. Does not allow a hit, does not allow a run. No strikeouts, no walks, and 1 hit batsman. And we'll see Carlos Guevara for the Dragons in the 8th inning. Been a while since Carlos has gotten some game action. 4-1 Kernels with the advantage over the Dragons. Matt Brown, Caleb Mayer, Matt Pauly. The bottom half of the 8th. Breaking ball that missed inside, and the count of ball and no strikes. The numbers on Guevara, who is now the Dragon closer with David Schaefer moving to the starting rotation. Carlos, 16th appearance, that leads the team. A win, a loss, a 3.66 earned run average. 3 saves, 19 and 2/3 innings. This one a bomb out to left. Smith near the warning track. He'll make the catch. And 1 down in the inning. After 50 feet of that 16-foot-high fence, it starts to angle out just like the fence does right outside of the Dragons' lair in left center field. And where it starts to get a little bit deeper is where Kyle Smith camped out and made the grounds. That one actually, Smith had about 3 or 4 feet behind him to spare. 1 down is Brown. Now 1 out of 4. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Kernels. A run, 6 hits for the Dragons. 1 down, and now Caleb Mayer, who hit a home run his last time up against Rainier Feliz, asks for time. Guevara with 3 saves and 19 and 2/3 innings now make it 20. With the third of an inning that he has thrown tonight, has given up 18 hits, 8 runs, all the runs earned. He has struck out 28, walks 6. The Midwest League batting, 240 against him. Caleb Mayer with a home run, a single, and a strikeout. He's 2 for 3. Swinging a miss at a Guevara screwball. And the count now nothing in 2. Dragons in the 9th inning. Ryan Fry, Walter Olmsted, and Kyle Smith. Wayne Hedden continuing to throw. Down in the Kernel bullpen. No balls, 2 strikes. Guevara set the pitch. Hook got him inside corner. A beautiful pitch. Caleb Mayer watches it go. That was a knee bender. second out of the inning, first strikeout for Guevara. That'll bring up Matt Pauley. Bottom of the eighth inning with 2 down, nobody on. And a 4-1 lead for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Strength of the left-hander Matt Pauley in the count, 0-1. 4 runs, 9 hits for Cedar Rapids tonight, a run, and 6 hits for the Dragons. A 2-run home run from Matt Brown in the first inning. A solo home run for Blake Balcom in the second, and a solo home run for Caleb Mayer in the sixth. Dragons' lone run in the fifth, an RBI on a sacrifice fly from Miguel Perez. It scored Kyle Smith, who doubled. Went to third base on an infield single, the first professional hit for Jeremiah Pipcorn, who made his professional debut tonight at third base. 2 balls, a strike, Guevara set. Pitch. The appeal? No, says Jesse Redwine. For the left-hander and Matt Pauley up. Jesse Redwine has no idea. You might as well ask the guy that's driving down Interstate 80 20 miles south of here, because he had just as good a look at it. You've got to appeal to third base, and obviously with a 2-man umpiring crew, there is no umpire at third. So that one of the things that is, I guess for lack of a better term, imperfect as far as having the 2-man umpiring crew. And it doesn't matter who it is. You could have Bob Davidson, who we talked about at Fifth Third Field when he was there for 8 straight days, the former big league umpire who was making $150,000 plus a year, had been in the majors for 20 seasons or whatever it was. He's not going to have any better of an idea than what Jesse Redwine is at first base, that Nick Monaco is, or a guy that is umpiring Little League games here in Cedar Rapids for the Parks and Rec Department, making an extra couple of bucks for college. You just can't get the angles on a left-handed hitter, whether or not his bat crosses that magic plane when you're looking, trying to stare through his back to see it. Fastball that missed outside, count even to the ball and a strike. Blake Balcom, perfect night. He's 3 for 3. Solo home run in the second. He singled in the fourth. He singled again in the sixth inning. Vance with 2 down. Matt Pauley on at first base. He's being held on by Walter Olmstead. The 1-1. Fastball at the knees, and the count now a ball and 2 strikes. Dragons deep straight up in the outfield. The wind that was 10 miles an hour at the start of the ball game, about midway through this one, just all of a sudden stopped. Apparently pulled up stakes and left out. The American flag, the trees not moving at all. The 1-2 pitch missed off the outside corner to the right-hander, Balcom, and the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Bottom of the 8th inning, a 4-1 lead for the Cedar Rapids Kernels. Dragons will send up 4, 5, and 6 in their half of the ninth. The 2-2 coming home. Swing and a miss. A screwball, he got him. Balcom down on strikes, and that is 2 strikeouts for Carlos Guevara. The Kernels strand a runner. We've played 8. Last chance for the Dragons. They need 3 to tie. 4-1 Cedar Rapids on 1410 ESPN Radio.
You make me feel so young. You make home improvement so much fun. Pay service here, and now with a Fifth Third Equity Flex line, you'll get a 3.74% introductory APR that adjusts the prime rate after 3 months. Use the equity in your home and make your space big. Working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need. LTV rate to there, and the prime rate of less than 8 months is welcome for taxable APR and another 6.5% of the $55 annual fee for 1 London member FDIC. You'll find everything you need to make this holiday weekend a memorable one at Kroger. Right now with your Kroger Plus card, family packs of Tyson Thin and Fancy, tender or skinless boneless chicken breasts are buy one, get one free. The new crop of naturally sweet California cherries is in, and they're priced right at just $1.99 a pound. And all 24 packs of Pepsi are $4.88. Do your Memorial Day cookout the right way with Kroger. Right store, right price. Let it smile.
DP&L, your energy
partner for 90 years knows you might have questions about the Ohio Electric Choice Program. If so, call us at 1-800-929-8646 for a free brochure. You've always relied on DP&L for energy information. Now we can help you learn about electric choice.
1410 ESPN.
Last chance for the Dragons. Wayne heading on the hill for the Kernels, going for save number 2, heading out of Tampa, Florida. 6'2", 200 pounds, a right-hander. 6th appearance, no wins, 1 loss. A 0.00 earned run average. 6 innings of baseball. He has given up 4 hits, 1 run, the run not earned. He has struck out 1, walked 4. Midwest League hitting .222 against him. He does have 1 save, and this would be his second if he's able to close it out. He'll face Ryan Fry, Walter Olmstead, and Kyle Smith. Fry, a right-hander, Olmstead, a switch hitter who will bat left-handed, and then a right-hander, Smith. The count evens at a ball and a strike. 4-1, Kernels with the advantage. Dayton bats the top half of inning number 9. 4 runs, 9 hits for Cedar Rapids. 1 run and 6 hits for the Dragons. Swing and a miss by Fry. And the count now 1-2 on the Dayton Dragon right fielder. Fry 0 for 3. It bounced into 2 double plays and into a fielder's choice. Leads things off the 1-2 pitch, hammered out into center field. Cosby going back, still going back. That one is gone. Dead center for Ryan Fry. Now a 4-2 ball game. Home run number 10, RBI number 29. And all of a sudden, the Dayton Dragons a little bit closer. Now a 4-2 ball game. Fry will touch home plate. And that's the way you start things off in the top half of the 9th inning. Fry bangs it over the center field fence. And now a 4-2 ball game. Now Walter Olmstead will stand in, batting left-handed against the right-hander. The fastball missed outside. And the count of ball and no strikes. 4-2 Kernels. Cedar Rapids with the advantage as Dayton bats in the top of the 9th. Olmstead shows bunt, takes the pitch in tight. The appeal? No, says the bases umpire Jesse Redwine. Again, umpire at first base trying to guess whether or not the left-hander offered long enough for a strike. He just doesn't have the angle. The 2-0 coming home to Olmstead. At the knees on the inside corner, now 2-1. So Fry with a solo shot over the wall in dead center. And a 4-2 ball game. The 2-1 short hop. The catcher Tommy Duenas. And all of a sudden, 3 balls and a strike. Defensively for the Kernels, you've got Bobby Wilson at third, Matt Brown at shortstop, Howie Kendrick at second, Bobby Wilson at... I already mentioned Bobby Wilson at third. This one fouled back off the string. Bobby Wilson at third, Matt Brown at shortstop, Howie Kendrick at second, Matt Foley at first. Tommy Duenas behind the plate. The outfielders left to right, Aaron Teal, Quan Cosby, and Blake Balcom. The 3-2 coming home, missed inside, ball 4. Third walk of the night that Walter Olmstead has picked up. Going to bring up Kyle Smith. Final numbers on Aaron Pullen. Aaron Pullen went an inning and a third. Did not allow a hit, had a strikeout, no walks, no runs. When I suppose, hindsight being 20/20, but do you think, as the pitch to Smith misses downstairs, a ball and no strikes, do you think Bobby Maguilenis, manager of Cedar Rapids, is thinking, maybe I should have kept Aaron Pullen in the ballgame. He wasn't doing too bad. Ball and no strikes here. Wayne heading out of the stretch in the pitch. Missed outside, now 2-0. Top of the 9th inning, Ryan Fry, a solo home run to lead things off. Walter Olmstead out at first base, he picked up a walk. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Kernels, 2 runs on 7 hits for the Dragons. Kyle Smith representing the tying run. He is at home plate. Smith tonight 1 out of 3. He has doubled, struck out, and grounded out. The 2-0 pitch coming home. It's outside now, 3-0. Looks like Alan Buckley starting to loosen down in the Kernel bullpen. That is Buckley, the right-hander. 3-0 pitch, the courtesy call on the inside corner. Now 3 balls and a strike to the right-hander Kyle Smith. Wayne Hedden is set to go. 3 balls, 1 strike, pitch coming home. Outside corner for strike 2. Hedden threw that one where he wanted. Now a full count to Smith. A 4-2 ball game. Olmstead on at first base. He walked with nobody down after the home run from Ryan Fry. Made it 4-2. The payoff coming home. It's outside, ball 4. First base and second base following back-to-back walks, and here we go. Pitching coach coming out to stall for a little bit of time, Eric Bennett. He will try to get Alan Buckley ready in time. Probably won't happen to face Jeremiah Pipcorn, but it could be in time to face Miguel Perez. Dragons have teamed up with Time Warner Cable's Roadrunner high-speed online. With the Dragons Roadrunner package, you're guaranteed to get the best promotion rate that Time Warner offers. With this package, the monthly cost for the first 6 months, $29.95 per month. That includes free installation. And there's no contract to sign. While supplies last, if you sign up for Roadrunner, the Dragons include a prize package where you will receive an autographed bat by the 2004 Dragons team, a limited edition mini mascot bobblehead featuring Cedar, Gem, and Wink, a Dragon bat, and an invitation to a special movie night at Fifth Third Field. Call Time Warner at 888-567-2318. That's 888-567-2318. Sign up for the Dragons Roadrunner package using promotional code DD2004, as in Dayton Dragons 2004. For information on this or any of our other promotions, stats on the team, box scores, anything that you need, tickets, DaytonDragons.com is the place to stop. First and second, Olmstead at second, Smith on at first base. Pipcorn shows Buck. Wow, up and in. Sent him back, and that one goes as a strike to count 0-1. Tell you what, Wayne Hedden caught a break right there. Alan Buckley continuing to throw. 4-2, Cedar Rapids with the advantage. Top half of inning number 9. Dragons with 2 runners on, nobody down. We'll see if Pipcorn's going to show bunt. Doesn't tip his hand that time. He's heading the bluff move back to second base. And that's part of the thing where you don't want to show what you're going to do too soon. No balls and a strike. Kernels are in at the corners from the 0-1. Pipcorn not showing bunt. Outside corner for a strike. A little bit of a weak call there by the home plate umpire, Nick Monaco. And the count now 0-2. For the most part, the strike zone's been pretty consistent. Wasn't that time. That was outside. So 0-2 on the Dragon third baseman, looking for his first RBI as a Dragon. And the 0-2 down in the dirt. Nice count from Tommy Duenas. Olmstead stays put at second. And if Olmstead's at second, Kyle Smith not going anywhere at first. Alan Buckley continuing to throw. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Kernels. 2 runs on 7 hits, no errors for the Dragons. Top half of inning number 9. Dayton with the tying run at first base. Go-ahead run. And Pipcorn at the plate. A ball, 2 strikes. Checked it. Did he go? The appeal. No, he didn't, says bases umpire Jesse Redwine. And the count evens now at 2-2. Every one of these ball games has been entertaining. 2-1 Cedar Rapids on Monday, 2-1 Dragons last night. It's 4-2 Kernels right here, but the Dragons threatening in the ninth. The 2-2. Fastball swinging a miss. Down on strikes is Pittsburgh, first down of the inning. One down, that will bring up Miguel Perez. Perez 1 out of 2, doubled his last time up. Fifth inning, sacrifice fly, good for an RBI, and he's also flown out to left. No home runs, 9 runs batted in for the Dragon catcher. The pitch that was about the same location as a called strike to Pittsburgh, and that time called the ball. 1-0. The Dragon catcher, batting right-handed. 4-2, Cedar Rapids with the lead, top half of the ninth. A solo home run from Ryan Fry made it 4-2. Walter Olmstead walks, Kyle Smith walks. Pittsburgh struck out. 2 runners are on, 1 down. And a ball and a strike to Miguel Perez. The pitch coming home. It's outside. Snap throw back down to first base. Kyle Smith back in. Matt Pauly had to scramble back to the bag to catch the throw from Tommy Dwinus. Ben Himes has grabbed the bat. He is in the on-deck circle. He will bat for the shortstop, Will Hudson. 2-1 coming home. Perez with a swing at a breaking ball. Comes up empty in the count now, 2-2. Layden Hedden has given up a hit. 10th home run of the season to Ryan Fry. Walked Olmstead, walked Smith. Struck out Pittsburgh. The 2-2, a little looper. Second baseman makes the catch. Kendrick on the outfield. Perez retired in the pop-up, second out of the inning. Thought that maybe that had enough to get down and get over the head of Howie Kendrick, but it did not. And so we'll try it again here with 2 down. Ben Himes will be the pinch hitter for Will Hudson.
Pinch hitter for the Dragons, number 23, Ben Himes.
Ben Himes will be the pinch hitter. Luis Bolivar will come into the ball game and play shortstop if need be. Ben Himes had a 2 RBI triple in the ball game last night that gave the Dragons the victory. 267, 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Left-hander Ben Himes against the right-hander Wayne Hedden. And the pitch coming home to Himes. Rifle shot out into right field. That's going to get 1 run home. Rounding third, heading home, Walter Olmstead. It's now a 4-3 ball game. Olmstead scores. Himes with the RBI pinch hit single. And it is now 4-3. On the play, Kyle Smith to second. And that will bring up the center fielder, Chris Dickerson. And what do you do if you're Bobby Magellanes? You've got Alan Buckley down in the bullpen. And now Magellanes coming out, and we're going to have a pitching change. Was wondering if he was going to come out and make the move. Wayne Hedden. 2 hits, 2 walks, a strikeout in the inning. Ineffective and best. And we will have a new pitcher coming on. We'll take a 60-second timeout. Wayne Hedden can't get the job done. Dragons with the tying run at second base with 2 down. Dickerson against Alan Buckley when we come back. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
And now, here's something from Coors Light for everybody out there who loves summer.
I love working on my tan. That girl from the taco stand. Lots of long weekends and friends. Love red, white, and blue. Check out on the ears. Come on, don't love me.
Have yourself a long, hot summer and a nice cold Coors Light. Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. Rock on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Next time you buy beer, pick up some Coors Light and taste the cold, crisp, refreshing difference. WING-AM, Dayton, a Radio 1 broadcasting station. Hi, this is Mike Tanner. When you're listening to your home for the Dayton Dragons. This is ESPN Radio.
Dickerson for the Dragons will face the new pitcher. That is right-hander Alan Buckley. He's 6'6", 230 pounds. He is out of Brandon, Mississippi. 4-3. Dragons have got the tying run on at second base. Alan Buckley, 15 appearances on the season. 21 in the third innings. He has given up 24 hits. He has struck out 17, walks 12, allowed 18 runs. All of them earned. The Midwest League batting .276 against him. And Buckley against the Dragons. 1/3 of an inning, a walk, a strikeout. His second appearance in this series. Dickerson will stand in with Kyle Smith at second. Ben Hines, who's got the pinch hit RBI single, on at first base. A 4-3 ball game, top of the ninth, 2 down. And the pitch to Dickerson missed outside of the count of ball and no strikes. Dickerson came on defensively in the bottom half of the seventh. As a hitter, he's 0 for 1. Strike on the outside corner. Count evens up at 1-1. A changeup that caught the outside corner. Big gap for Dickerson out in right center field. Anything hit past Howie Kendrick at second base has a chance to score a couple of runs. Ball with a strike pitch coming home. Outside corner, the count now 1-2. Wayne Hedden, 2/3 of an inning. 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. To this point, he's given up 2 runs. Both of the runs earned, and Smith and Hines out on base would be put on his tab. The 1-2 coming home. Dickerson, a check swing, just did get a piece. Chris stays alive at a ball and 2 strikes. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Kernels. 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Dragons. This inning started. Ryan Fry led it off with a solo home run. Walter Olmsted walked. Kyle Smith walked. Jeremiah Pipcorn struck out. Miguel Perez popped up. Will Hudson was lifted. Ben Hines, the pinch hitter, came through with an RBI on a pinch hit single. Olmsted scored, made it 4-3. That's where we're at right now. 4-9-0 for the Kernels, 3-8-0 for the Dragons. Alan Buckley, the right-hander, out of the stretch. The left-hander Dickerson awaits. The 1-2 just off the outside corner. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Dickerson, who got off the plane about 5:30 this afternoon, not only in the ball game, called upon here to come up with a big hit to possibly tie the game, maybe even take the lead. The 2-2. Another one tapped foul. This one's slow up the first base line. Count remains even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Dragon center fielder Chris Dickerson, his first game action since May 2nd. He's been out of the lineup for 24 days. 2 balls and 2 strikes on the left-handed hitting center fielder from Van Nuys, California. Kyle Smith, the tying run at second. Ben Hines, the go-ahead run at first. The 2-2 from Buckley. Missed outside, now 3-2. And that was probably the last thing that you wanted to have happen if you're Cedar Rapids, because now Smith at second, Hines at first will get the head start. It will be off with the pitch. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Cedar Rapids. 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Dragons. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 1,671 here sit on the edge of their seats. The payoff. Runners on the move. Missed outside, ball 4. Great at bat from Chris Dickerson. Now the bases are loaded, and a single with Evan Conley coming up gives you the lead. They started to play a certain song by AC/DC that the San Diego Padres play when their closer, Trevor Hoffman, comes in a ball game. Hoffman played here in Cedar Rapids, and I tell you what, Cedar Rapids and San Diego a long, long way away, and there has been no domination, no Trevor Hoffman-like domination here in the ninth inning as far as the Kernel bullpen is concerned. 2 hits and 3 walks. The Dragons with the bases loaded, 2 down, and a ball and no strikes for Evan Conley. Dragon second baseman, 1 out of 4. Hit a bullet his last time up at the third baseman. Strike on the outside corner. And the count evens up at 1-1. Kyle Smith at third. Ben Himes at second. Chris Dickerson out at first base. The ball and the strike. Evan Conley. Pitch coming home. Outside corner, now 1-2. Votto waits on deck. The outfield deep straight up. Aaron Peel in left. Kwankowski in center. Blake Balkin in right. Wilson halfway, 15 off the line at third. Matt Pauly is stepping off the outfield grass, 15 off the line at first. Matt Brown at short. Howie Kendrick cut of the outfield grass. The ball and 2 strikes to the right-hander Conley. Buckley's pitch, got him in the ball game. Swing and a miss, and the Cedar Rapids Kernels hang on and win it. Conley not happy with himself. But sometimes, as they say, you get the bear, and sometimes the bear gets you. And unfortunately, Conley strikes out, and the Dragons fall 1 run short. Good comeback by Dayton. They get a couple of runs in the top half of the ninth and make it close. We'll take a time out. We'll come back. We'll wrap it up. You're listening to Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Oh, Frank, I heard a rumor about another brewery.
Yeah, which one?
I can't say their name, but it rhymes with Miller.
Okay, yeah, all right. What's the rumor?
Well, they've always been jealous that Bud is the king of beers,
right.
So they're going to start calling themselves the Queen of Carbs.
The Queen of Carbs.
Yeah, that's all they talk about in their ads, so they figured if the shoe fits, wear it.
Louis, how reliable is your source?
Well, my source was the ferret, so there is a slight margin for error.
That's right.
Queen of Carbs.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. Having Grandview Hospital close by is like having an old friend in your neighborhood.
I've lived in Dayton my entire life, and over the years I've been in and out of the hospital for one reason or another, and I've always made sure that the hospital is in Grandview.
We're a friend that's truly concerned about you, our patients. That's the difference you'll find with us.
At Grandview, I know that I'm going to be treated as a whole person. The doctors and nurses are going to focus on my physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and not just a set of symptoms.
Thoughtful, personal attention to every detail of each patient's medical progress and comfort. That's Grandview. And since 1926, we've been doing just that.
And for years now, my family's used Grandview, and I'm sure we will for years to come. So my kids were born there, and those are some of the happiest memories of my life.
From times of joy to times of crisis, Grandview Hospital has been there. We have the experience and understanding necessary to care for you and your family, because we treat people, not just symptoms. Grandview Hospital, now part of the Kettering Medical Center Network.
1410 ESPN.
Cedar Rapids with the victory by the score of 4-3. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Kernels. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Dragons. Mike Posey, the winner, he is 6-0. Alan Buckley is first to save, and Josh Thigpen takes the losses, marked 3-4. 2 hours, 31 minutes, the time of the ball game, 1,671 on hand to see it. We will take a timeout. We'll come back. Postgame shows up next. You're listening to Dayton Dragon Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Come
Come into Voss Village BMW today and see our great selection of new and pre-owned BMWs. Now owning a certified pre-owned BMW is easier than ever before at Voss Village BMW with extensive benefits such as the 100,000-mile factory protection plan. Voss Village BMW offers great service, convenient locations, as well as convenient hours to help serve you better. Only Voss offers you the best price, best value guarantee. Voss Village BMW, conveniently located on State Route 725, just 5 minutes east of the Dayton Mall. Stop by in person or visit them on the web at vossauto.com.
First, they brought you no dough, a revolutionary way to eat pizza without the crust. Then, with quiet conviction and brilliant gusto, they discovered a way to enjoy Donato's oven-baked sub without the carbs. Introducing the new Donato's Tortilla Sub. All your favorite ingredients on a low-carb tortilla and warmed in the oven. In any great sub flavor, it's mouth-watering and it's melted.
The sound of another miracle, born at Southview Hospital Maternity Center. This center features state-of-the-art equipment, private rooms, suites for labor and delivery, recovery, and postpartum, educational classes, and support groups. Caring, family-oriented obstetricians and experienced, knowledgeable staff are all dedicated to providing you and your baby comfort and care. The Southview Hospital Maternity Center is part of the Kettering Medical Center Network.
1410 ESPN. You've been listening to Dayton Dragons Baseball on 1410 ESPN Radio, WYNG AM. A presentation of Mandalay Sports Entertainment and Dayton Dragons Baseball. Exclusive coverage of Dayton Dragons Baseball has been brought to you by 1410 ESPN Radio, WYNG AM. Cincinnati Bell, Coca-Cola Enterprises of Dayton, the Dayton Daily News, Dayton Power and Light, Donato's Pizza, Pittsburgh Bank, Heidelberg Distributing and Budweiser, Kettering Medical Center Network, Kroger First Store, and Voss Auto Network. This broadcast has been an exclusive presentation of Mandalay Sports Entertainment and Dayton Dragons Baseball.
What you call someone who year after year makes wishes come true? Someone who sponsors the Dayton Dragons simply because they understand the special bond that grows between parents and their children when they go to a game.
A wizard.
Someone who thinks that a perfectly good reason for supporting the Dayton Ballet is that little girls and boys dream of becoming ballet stars when they grow up.
A fairy godmother.
Someone who makes the city sing, from the City Folk Festival to the Schuster Performing Arts Center.
A philanthropist.
Someone who wants to bring laughter and celebration to our riverfront at Riverscape.
An angel.
What you call someone who has been making the dreams of Dayton come alive for more than 30 years? LexisNexis. We're dedicated to making Dayton a wonderful place to work, play, and call home. LexisNexis, supporting the Dayton community for more than 30 years.
Okay, next question.
All right.
If you were stuck on a desert island, would you rather take your significant other or your TV set?
Would it have cable?
Yes, it would have cable.
Time Warner Digital Cable?
Tom.
No, it matters, okay? Because if it has Time Warner Digital Cable, I can get the latest movies instantly right on the TV set with movies on demand with eye control.
Okay.
Yeah, and to get on the internet, I'll have Roadrunner High Speed Online, right? That is important to me.
Really?
Well, the web pages have to load really fast.
Because you're a very busy man on that island.
That I am. Then with Roadrunner, I get speed and an always-on connection. This is a tough one. Okay, I'd say... Okay, if it was satellite, I'd choose you. But Time Warner Digital Cable and Roadrunner High Speed Online?
You would choose Time Warner Digital Cable and Roadrunner.
But you came in a very close second, honey.
Well, that's comforting, thank you.
Very close.
For a great deal on the Dayton Dragons Roadrunner package, call 1-866-44-CABLE. Ask for campaign code DD2004.
Other good while supplies last. Some restrictions may apply.
1410 ESPN. Mandalay Sports Entertainment and the Dayton Dragons present the Dragons Postgame Show. A look back at tonight's Dragons game with analysis and an update of both the Midwest League and Major League scoreboard. Let's head back to the stadium and the voice of the Dayton Dragons, Mike Vanderwood.
Welcome back to Cedar Rapids. Mike Vanderwood with you on 1410 ESPN Radio. The Kernels over the Dragons tonight 4-3. 4 runs, 9 hits, and no errors for Cedar Rapids. Kernels strand 6. The Dragons 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors, and Dayton strands 8. Mike Capozzi, the winning pitcher, he is 6-0. Alan Buckley picks up the save, his first. Josh Thigpen takes the loss. His mark is 3 and 4. 2 hours, 31 minutes, the time of the ball game, and 1,671 at the ballpark to see it. Dickerson got the start for the Dragons, and in the first inning, a 2-run home run by Matt Brown with 2 down. Got home Bobby Wilson in front of him. It was 2-0 Cedar Rapids. Became 3-0 Kernels when Blake Balcom led off the second inning with a homer over the wall in center field. His third of the season, RBI number 15, and it was a 3-0 advantage for the Kernels. It stayed that way until Dayton came back with a run in the top half of inning number 5. Kyle Smith doubled, went to third base on the first professional hit of Jeremiah Pipcorn. Miguel Perez, the sacrifice fly, got home Kyle Smith from third base. It was a 3-1 game. Rainier Feliz came on, started the 5th inning, got out of that okay. In the 6th inning, a solo home run to lead things off by Caleb Mayer. Completely left the ballpark in left field. The lead was back to 3 at 4-1. That becomes important because the Dragons able to get within 1 run in the 9th inning. Had the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second base. Evan Conley, after a pretty decent at-bat, struck out to end the ball game, but the Dragons come up with 2 to make it close. Ryan Fry, a solo home run off of Lane Hedden. Hedden ineffective at best. He did get a couple of outs, but he also gave up a home run, 2 walks, an RBI single before getting yanked after 2/3 of an inning. Ryan Fry, his 10th home run, is 29th, his 30th, I should say, run batted in. Walter Olmsted, Kyle Smith drew back-to-back walks, first and second, with nobody down. Jeremiah Pipcorn struck out for the first out of the inning. Miguel Perez, a little looper that was caught by the second baseman, Howie Kendrick. 2 down. Ben Himes comes out as the pinch hitter for Will Humpson. Himes picks up an RBI single, his 9th run batted in of the year. That scores Olmsted, makes it a 4-3 ball game. Smith to second, Himes on at first. New pitcher comes in, it's Alan Buckley. He walks Chris Dickerson to load the bases up. And Evan Conley, the hitter, and the Dragons just simply ran out of magic, and Conley struck out, had a good cut at a 2-strike pitch, and the Dragons came up 1-run shot as Cedar Rapids took it by the score of 4-3. Kernels now 26-19. The Dragons are 19-27. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back, check the Midwest League scoreboard. You're listening to the postgame show on 1410 ESPN Radio.
And now, here's something from Coors Light for everybody out there who loves summer.
I love working on my tan. That girl from the taco stand. Lots of long weekends and swings. I love red, white, blue. Back up on the ears. Come on, some love. And swing. And
Yeah, have yourself a long, hot summer and a nice cold Coors Light. Coors Light. Cold, down, easy. Rock on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Next time you buy beer, pick up some Coors Light and taste the cold, crisp, refreshing difference.
Know what I'm talking about? I just jump off on boy my own shoe out, you know what I'm saying? I know you're tired of the 1-2 wells, right? Folding in the floor. No more of that. Just that Woodbridge coming at you. Yeah, it's in stores right now. You feel me? Birdman love. We rock the streets, homie.
ESPN 1410 WING invites you to the annual Boys and Girls Club of Dayton Golf Outing, Monday, July 19th at Walnut Grove Country Club, sponsored by Bearing Point and Taco Bell. Enjoy a day of golf at beautiful Walnut Grove, along with door prizes and a great summer cookout while helping out the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dayton. That's Monday, July 19th, with registration at 11 a.m. and a shotgun start at 12:30. All proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Clubs in direct support of their mission to inspire young people to become productive, responsible, and caring citizens. For more information and registration, call 937-331-7200.
1410 ESPN.
ballpark, and let's take a look at, first let's do the big league scores. We've got those numbers out and accurate right here in front, so we'll check the Major League scoreboard first, and then we'll come back and do the Midwest League scores. The Reds at home against the Florida Marlins, and Florida shuts out Cincinnati 3-0. That is the final. Also a final, Atlanta over Montreal 6-1. Top of the ninth, Philadelphia leading the New York Mets 6-4. Bottom 7, Houston over Chicago 6-3. Milwaukee and LA tied at 1 in the 8th. Fourth inning, it's Colorado 4, San Diego 3. Top of the third, Pittsburgh leading St. Louis 2-1. Bottom of the first inning, Arizona and San Francisco are scoreless. Three finals in the American League. Seattle over Cleveland 7-3. Toronto comes back, beats Anaheim 6-5. Minnesota doubles up Tampa 4-2. Top of the ninth inning, Boston over Oakland 9-6. Bottom of the eighth, Chicago 4, Texas 0. Bottom 7, 7-1, Kansas City over Detroit. And in the sixth inning, it's New York 7 and Baltimore 3. We'll take a timeout. We will come back and we will check the Midwest League scoreboard when we return. 4-3 Kernels over the Dragons. You're listening to the postgame show on 1410 ESPN Radio. Hey, Dragons fans, welcome to another year of great fun and good baseball in Dayton. But is this another year you are renting, writing check after check, and getting nothing back in return? Beezer Homes, the proud sponsor of the 2004 Dayton Dragons, has solutions for you. Beezer has 12 communities located throughout the Miami Valley. What do you get with a Beezer home? You get a bigger home, quality construction, name brand appliances, all with a monthly payment that may be less than your current rent payment, and in some cases with no down payment. You heard that right, zero down. Take a look at the Beezer ad in this Sunday's Real Estate Plus in the Dayton Daily News, and then visit one of Beezer's fine communities and tour a model home. And watch for details on how you can become eligible to win a new Beezer home in the Beezer Dragons Home Run Contest. If you think someday you will own a beautiful new home, then visit a Beezer community where someday starts today. And if you want to take the super highway, visit us at Beezer.com. Beezer Homes, a proud sponsor of the 2004 Dayton Dragons. Beezer has 12 communities located throughout the Miami Valley.
I'm pretty comfortable being out of control and being uncomfortable. And, yeah, you think you control what's going on around you, but guess what? It ain't all up to you. That's the light going on. That you control what you can control, and you learn how to ride the rest of the stuff with grace. Just don't panic and try and look cool doing it, you know?
Jockey, what's in your comfort zone? Tell your story at jockey.com.
Your new home is one of the biggest investments you will ever make. Whether building your first home or a home for your growing family, protecting your investment is not just about the cosmetic appearance, but the structural integrity of the home itself. Know your options your builder offers for waterproofing your new home. Keep the water out of your basement with the manufacturer's warranted waterproofing product. Marflex Waterproofing and Basement Products is the complete source for waterproofing your basement foundation. Call Marflex today at 1-800-498-1411. That's 1-800-498-1411.
1410 ESPN. At the ballpark, and let's take a look at the Midwest League numbers in the top half of inning number 7. 6-2 South Bend over Battle Creek. Peoria leading Burlington 4-1 on the top of the 8th. Also top 7. Wisconsin over Quad Cities 5-3. Everybody else is final. Clinton over Fort Wayne 7-0. Lansing over West Michigan 3-1, and Beloit over Kane County by a 4-1 score. We'll take our final timeout. We'll come back and let you know about the ball game tomorrow. It is a matinee, a 1 o'clock start Dayton time. We'll give you the details when we come back. You're listening to the postgame show on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Hello, I'm Maureen McGlynn, Mayor of the City of Dayton. As a mayor, much of my time is spent fighting for better schools, creating and retaining jobs, and decreasing crime in the Dayton area. With all that work on my plate, I can't waste any time. When I travel, I need an airport that I can get in and out of quickly and one that keeps the cost of my tickets grounded. That's why when I travel, I always fly out of the Dayton International Airport. At Dayton International Airport, I can be off my plane and back to work at City Hall in an hour. That's what I call serving your constituents.
You too can experience the convenience and low cost associated with flying to the Dayton International Airport. With nearly 100 direct and nonstop flights, you can quickly and easily reach the country's many great destinations from your backyard. The Dayton International Airport can save you time and money.
It's time to break through. Drive a Cadillac now. Hi, this is Rob Spitz, General Manager at Robert Olsenville Cadillac. For nearly 35 years, my father has been selling Cadillacs throughout the Miami Valley. Come in and find out why Robert Olsenville Cadillac has been Dayton's best-kept secret. Check out the CTS, the Bills, DHS and DTS, the Bills, and the brand-new sports utility, SRX, with the biggest sunroof in the industry at 5 square feet. Or how about cruising the boulevard with an Escalade loaded with 22-inch wheels and a DVD player? Robert Olsenville Cadillac has great savings and value on pre-owned cars and trucks. You can buy with confidence with Cadillac and GM certified warranty. Remember, Robert Olsenville Cadillac sales representatives are factory certified and ready to assist you in finding your next car or sports utility. Robert Olsenville Cadillac, Route 35 at Orchard Lane in Beaver Creek, the dealership that's different.
1410 ESPN.
Back at the ballpark, Cedar Rapids wins it 4-3. 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 7 left on base for the Kernels. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors, 8 left on for the Dragons. Micah Posey, the winning pitcher. He is 6-0. Alan Buckley with his first save. Josh Thigpen takes the losses, marks 3 and 4. 2 hours, 31 minutes, the time of the ball game. 1,671 at the ballpark to see it. We wrap up the 4-game series here in Cedar Rapids tomorrow afternoon. 12:30 pregame show, 1 o'clock first pitch. Tyler Pellin, the left-hander for the Dragons. Michel Simard on the hill for Cedar Rapids. He is a native of Quebec. He is a right-hander. And we'll have a righty-lefty matchup tomorrow afternoon. My thanks to Mark Neal back in the Dragon Baseball Studios. For Mark, this is Mike. Your final score, Cedar Rapids 4, Dayton 3. I'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon. 12:30 pregame show, 1 o'clock first pitch. Until then, have a great night, everybody.